Good evening, scholars, and welcome back to the Restricted Collection, a podcast about tabletop games. I'm your host, the head librarian, Chad, and today we're talking about Arkham cards with Nick, our liaison to the Silver Twilight Lodge. Hi, Nick.
Hey!
How are you this evening?
No, I'm not doing too bad. Get to talk
Good.
about Arkham cards, so that's always a fun time.
Yeah, agreed. So, when it comes to a lot of the fan-made content, in the past we've tried to highlight cards that the fan creators were looking for feedback about. Tonight, we are not talking about cards that the fan creators looking for feedback about. These cards are all finalized and all set, but partly because I've been enjoying playing with them, partly because you've been enjoying playing with them, and partly because I just like highlighting fan creators. We're going to be talking about the investigator cards from Circus Ex Mortis, designed by The Beard. The
Huzzah!
important thing to note here is that all of the investigators are kind of multi-class. They all have 0 to 3 in a main class, 0 to 3 in the secondary class, but the restriction is your deck must have at least 10 more of the primary class than the secondary class. So I think that's an interesting way to get around the giving the same person 0 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then every single card, all the standard player cards, have a level 0 version and then an upgraded version. So it'll be very interesting to see how all of those turn out. The only other thing I think worth noting before we get into this is the tension keyword. So primarily assets, but not exclusively assets. Some of them will have the tension keyword. So it'll have a main effect on the card, and then it'll say bold tension, and then have some sort of condition. And then once that condition is met, while that card is in play, you can just put a marker on it to note that the tension requirement has been satisfied, and then it gains some secondary ability or augments the primary ability because you have achieved some sort of in-play goal, mini quest, objective, however you want to put it. If you have 2 copies of the card and you put one out, and achieved the tension and put the second one out, you have not achieved tension on the second one until you have satisfied its condition like the first one. If you have tension on a card and you remove it and you return it back to your hand and then you play it again, you have to do the tension on it again. The tokens don't stick.
Mm-hmm.
I think that about covers that. So shall we begin?
Let's do it.
All right. The first one, we'll start with the Guardian cards. Actually, you know what? Nick, do you want to start with a different class?
Oh, what class do you want to start with?
What class do you want to start with?
Oh, doesn't really matter much to me. Do you have one you want to really talk about?
Let's start with Natalie, since I've actually played with Natalie.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna switch things up. All right. So Natalie Solier. I don't know if it's supposed to be pronounced with a French accent or not. The Juggler, performer and socialite. 2 will, 4 intellect, 3 strength, 3 agility, 6 health, 8 sanity. She is primary seeker. You do not discard assets in excess of available slots after they enter play. Assets played in excess of available slots gain fast. Forced at the start of the upkeep phase, discard assets you control in excess of available slots. Elder Sign effect +1, you may swap an asset you control with an asset in your hand, paying the difference between their costs. I had fun with Natalie.
I'm glad to hear that. It sounds like it could be a lot of fun.
For my blind play through Circus Ex Mortis, I played with Natalie through as a solo investigator, and I built for her kind of an academic army build. as part of the base because it's just any slots. It doesn't have to be hand slots. Thematically, maybe it should only be hand slots, but it's kind of funny and ridiculous that it is not just hand slots. So yeah, as long as your slots are filled, you can just chuck extra things into your slots and use them at fast as long as you have the money to pay for them. And then during upkeep, you just discard down the slots. So, like a basic interaction that I really enjoyed was throwing out a magnifying glass, like an upgraded magnifying glass.
Mm-hmm.
Get it's fast already, and it's free to play. Throw it out, get the +1 intellect for investigating, and because I'm playing in solo, it's real easy to get all the clues off of a location, and then I'll return it back to hand so that I have it for next round. Just little tricky things like that. But that's my experience through one campaign with her.
Yeah. The nonsense that you could get up to with it seems, let's just say, ridiculous. Because
Yeah.
if we didn't say it before, she is Seeker Rogue, so she has the primary Seeker, so she does have O3 Seeker and O3 Rogue.
Yep.
Which N3 Strength.
Yep.
Also means that she can like juggle switchblades. Which isn't
Yep.
terrible.
There were switchblades. I think I had switchblades in like the level 0 version of the deck. I quickly got out of them. At least for the deck that I was playing, it was mostly fill up my hands, fill up my ally slots, and everything else was kind of gravy on top of that.
Yeah. She could also juggle books. She still is a four book investigator.
Oh yeah.
So just juggle a bunch of tomes. You can make certain tomes fast.
I used Scroll of Secrets, go figure, to not only fill up the hand slot, but also just fast draw. I love Scroll of Secrets. The I will say she starts off slow
I believe
because
that.
you just need to like get stuff in your slots, and then once you have stuff in slots, as long as you got the money, you can just keep going. But having a bunch of fast things are very nice. The Elder Sign effect, you may swap an asset you control with an asset in your hand. It's not restricted on what the asset is in relation to the asset you put in, other than you pay the difference. So, for example, I could, if I had a magnifying glass in hand, swap it for an ally that I already have in play to return the ally to my hand and then be able to play that ally again for its entry effect. Again, just shenanigans that you can just manipulate with.
It's true.
Also, I will say something that I started leaning into: those rogue items that the rogue weapons, I should say, like the Cult Vest Pocket or the Lupara, which give you a benefit. Like the Cult Vest Pocket, once you shoot it, level 2 version, once you shoot it, it has to be discarded that turn. And for the Cult Vest Pocket, level 0, once it enters play, it will discard itself at the end of the turn or at the end of the round. Those I found very useful to just, throw in this like big, powerful gun that only lasts for a round, shoot off the couple of shots I need, move on with my life.
Yeah, especially because if you're playing in excess, they just get fast.
Yep.
You can also juggle tarot cards.
I guess you could.
It wouldn't be that useful, but she can.
Yeah. I mean, there is something to be said for like so for the allies, I'm going to throw somebody out for their effect, but they're still going to soak for me during the enemy phase. And if they die during the enemy phase, so be it. They were going to get discarded anyway. There's also something to be said for my hands are full, but I want to switch out my gun, switch out, like my Scroll of Secrets is empty, but I want to put something into my hand slot to replace it. Well, I can do so at fast. That's not nothing. That's so
Right.
good.
Right. That's what I was about to say. Like, if for nothing else, it makes magnifying glass level 1 just even more powerful because you're just like, well, these are just gonna sit out here and no matter what anyway. And like the moment I need to get to just like put something else out, I get to make it fast and then
Yep.
bounce the magnifying glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's
shenanigans are strong.
yeah. It seems very very useful.
I want to be clear. I don't think it's busted.
No, she's got two
Um,
will, so that's not like that's a definite weakness, especially in Seeker.
yeah, I had to work for my intellect. I had to work for if I wanted to use like the Colt Vest Pocket, for example. I had to work for that strength. I had
Hmm.
to, find cards if I wanted to do an evasion strategy to boost my agility. I can do a lot, but I have to work for it, which is why I'm totally okay with her getting stuff out actionless, because you still have to work for it. You need to enable her to really do some crazy things. You have to enable her.
Look forward to when we start getting more hat slot cards, because then she can juggle hats.
There's just so many things you can juggle, and
I don't
it's
know, it's just
hilarious.
so many
Just
different types of slots.
yep. I will say, I that restriction of your deck must have at least 10 more seeker cards than rogue cards.
That's a
I
pretty
feel
healthy
like
restriction.
that's a pretty healthy restriction. It was more impactful than I first thought it would be.
Yeah,
Um,
I realized that too when doing the duality of man stuff. When you had to have uh when they do a slightly different one where you can't have more than a certain amount
yeah,
of ones. It's like, well, that's actually it's a restriction you don't think about until you start butting up against it, and you're like, oh, huh. Well, what do you know? This is actually like a. I have to really think about this one.
the awkward thing is multi-class cards are kind of a problem. So if I did have Eon Shard in the deck, and it's like, well, it counts as one of each, which is
Yeah.
fine. It keeps that parity, but it also doesn't exactly help the ratio. I
Right.
actually took Shrewd Analysis, the level 0 Seeker permanent, just so I had an extra rogue card slot.
Hmm. That's clever.
But on the flip side of it, when I took Streetwise, that ate up one of my rogue slots, and it's just
Yeah.
like permanents are kind of a problem.
Yeah. I believe it.
um, but yeah, that 10 more card, like she definitely still felt like it forces you to be the primary class more so, even if you really want to dip into some of the
Yeah.
secondary class stuff. You have
Now
to be
we haven't
very
actually we
selective.
actually haven't even talked about her signatures yet.
No, we have not. After you?
Sure. So her signature asset is called Juggler's Batons, which uh, is 2 cost, 2 hand slot, and accessory asset that is item and tool traded. Commits for Book, Foot, and Wild. Reaction after the Juggler's Baton enters play, draw a card for each asset you control in excess of available slots. And then, as an action, you can place Juggler's Baton on the bottom of your deck.
So I want to be clear about this. Actually, what do you think about this card before I say anything?
Um, Quite frankly, I think it will draw you a lot of cards.
I am confident that when you play it, you will probably draw at least 3 cards. So it's a 2 cost fast, because it as long as you have a thing in your hand slot,
Yeah,
this thing will be fast.
right.
So it's basically a 2 cost fast, draw at least 3 cards.
With
That
the option,
said,
of
oh, go
putting
ahead.
it back on the bottom of your deck.
Yes, that said, I never played it.
Yeah, I'd believe that.
And it's, to be clear, it's not like some other signature cards where I'm like, Like, why would you ever play this? No, I actually, there were a couple times where I'm like, that would be really nice, but I had enough card draw and I needed the skill icons.
Yeah, I'd believe that. But you could use this as a draw engine with Scroll of Secrets.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
it just straight goes onto the bottom of your deck, and then you can just literally put it back into your hand.
Yep. No, I think it's very interesting. I think it's balanced for what it is. It's a fun play space into her style. I just needed to note that in my entire solo playthrough, I did not play it. um, and let's see, her weakness is losing focus. It is a blunder weakness. Revelation put into play in your threat area. Forced after you discard one or more cards during the upkeep phase, take one horror. As double action, get rid of it.
Oh, that's pretty simple.
It's pretty simple. I'm very thankful it is one or more and not for each one.
Yeah, that could have really gone either way, but it's definitely one where you might be tempted to keep it around for a little while just to like and tank the horror for a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
it
also not direct
did.
horror, which is nice.
Yes. The awful thing, though, for that purpose, is all of the allies that I would want to soak it on, because I didn't care about them, were already gone.
Right, right,
Um,
because it happens at the beginning of the upkeep phase.
yeah, so this one was definitely like a pain in my side, but I wouldn't say it was backbreaking. It did change how I played and
Mm-hmm.
slowed down my craziness a bit.
Yeah, yeah, that seems relatively reasonable.
Yeah, perfectly reasonable.
Okay.
Okay. So first up is memorization, if you'd like it.
Yeah. So memorization is a 2-cost seeker asset that is that is talent rated. Commits for a book. Limit 1 per investigator. Reaction: when one or more of your cards would enter your discard pile during the upkeep phase. Exhaust memorization and choose one of those cards and shuffle it back into your deck instead. Oh, well, that's neat. Um, and then tension. You draw 4 or more total cards during your turn, and then that's the tension trigger. And then if you accomplish it, you may choose an additional card when you activate the above reaction ability.
Why did I not put the level 0 version of this in my deck?
I was about to ask you how good this performed in your deck because it seems like it was made for her, because I'm sure it was.
It was. I think I took level 1 memorization. I don't know why I didn't take level 0 memorization.
Well, I
um, but that said, yes, this is very clearly designed for her because she's discarding cards during the upkeep phase, but it's also just good for a big hand deck. Just
yeah.
draw a bunch of cards, you're going to discard a few because you have too many cards, and this just lets you restock your deck. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
great. And if you are doing a big hand deck, um, great. You're probably going to get the tension effect of drawing 4 or more. Yeah, it just restocks your deck. That's fantastic. Why did I not put the level 0 version of
But
this
when
in
you
my
want to draw more
deck?
cards, you just keep putting more cards into your deck to draw more cards.
Yeah. No, it's nice.
And then, of
For
course, we might as well just also talk about the leveled up one. So we said it before, but each uh, card has both a level 0 and then a leveled version. Uh, the level 1 version instead just the only thing that changes is that it gets a will icon for committing, and you get to for the main effect you get to choose up to 2 of the cards that you would discard and shuffle them back to the deck. So
and
if
then
you
if you get
accomplish tension, you get to choose 3.
yeah, that's a solid effect. Like, it's not flashy, it's not fancy, but if you're burning through your deck fast enough that you would need something like this, that you're consistently discarding one or more cards during upkeep, then this just lets you get the stuff you care about back faster,
Mhm.
which is great.
Yeah, I mean, it seems really good. It also seems quite good with anyone with level 1 seeker access. It could be very useful. That's any cards that would enter your discard pile during the upkeep phase. So you'd have to just
Sure.
figure out how to make that work. But
Yeah, traditionally that would just be through over hand size.
yeah, but there's nonsense. Mostly thinking about Daryl
George Barnaby.
and George. George is not bad for the nonsense.
George is good for that nonsense. This would be like, yeah, this is great for George. Daryl, you could make it work. Discard effects for Survivor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm also just thinking about the dilemmas as well. If you
Oh yeah.
draw one, it immediately goes to the discard pile, and you can immediately just shuffle it right back in.
Yeah, because it doesn't care how it's being discarded as long as it's being discarded.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, as long as it's entering your discard pile.
Yes.
Okay.
And then of course my man Morris Robinson.
Yes. If we're using duality of man stuff, yes.
Yes. Well, he yes.
I
Yeah.
I can't I cannot remember if I've said this, but I know I've mentioned this before. I have been really enjoying diving into fan created player content now that there's been introduced the idea of a legacy pool. Because if I want to play with like the quote unquote balanced official version, there's the current card pool. And if I want to play with whatever nonsense I want to play with, I now have the legacy pool. I know that I could have always done that, but it just kind of feels freeing that
Yeah, I
they've
get it. I get it. It's like when you dive into different formats in Magic.
sure. Yeah, just changes up how you think about it. Um yeah, I also know that I will self-regulate cards I think are silly. So,
Well, yeah.
all right. Mind reading is next. So there's the level 0 mind reading. It is a 3 cost asset, takes up an arcane slot, commits for a will, uses 4 secrets. As an action, spend a secret and choose an enemy at your location to investigate. This test uses the chosen enemy's fight value instead of your location's shroud and does not provoke attacks of opportunities. I mean, that's just a neat ability generally.
Yeah.
Tension. If you successfully use the above ability on an enemy with a fight value greater than the location's shroud value, you then unlock the tension ability, which is if you succeed on the above action ability, you discover one additional clue, including the action it was activated. That's solid. You're making your life harder for better reward.
Yeah, and it's repeatable. It seems a little tricky because you'll want to have enemies. You want to have a mix of enemies. You want to have, or you want ways to reduce shroud pretty reliably.
And this is frankly worthless without enemies.
True.
So for a
It is also a way to actually get and investigate without provoking attacks of opportunity. That
old
is
Trish
repeatable.
comment here.
Yes, not a bad. I will not lie. I had considered this card when we were doing the Scarlet Keys Iron Man.
Yep.
It's why I specifically asked you if concealed cards counted as enemies
Got
because
it.
this could work for nonsense. If that was the case,
Yep.
they don't. So
Faster. Why do you have to find the squeaky toy now? The upgraded version is level 2, where it gains an intellect icon. It has 5 secrets now. The action ability is the same. And then the tension ability is equal to or greater than the location shroud value. If you succeed on the above action ability, discover +1 additional clue, including the action it was activated. Yeah, it's just for 2 XP, that's solid. An extra use, it now is, if it's
Equal to or
equal to
greater.
the shroud, it still works. Still
Yeah, that
requires
seems
an enemy.
that's mostly just efficiency with getting an extra use.
Yeah.
No bonus, which is fine.
Yeah. I'm fine with it not having a bonus, especially if you're manipulating. Generally speaking, I imagine you'd be manipulating this for your benefit. But if you're
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
get the tension, I kind of like the idea that you have to work for it if you're trying to manipulate for the tension.
Yeah, and the fact that it takes up your arcane slot is pretty good, considering that you could just, use your other slots to increase your book.
Yep.
Yeah, seems like a fun little uh arcane asset. I always enjoy spells that take up, well, it's not a spell, but enjoy
It's an
things.
augury.
It's an augury. Love that keyword. Love it. Love that there's more and more of them.
All right. Well,
So,
maybe, Nick, you can help us see better with the next card.
do you think I'm Pat? Do you think you're gonna get a reaction out of me? Our next card is the Segmented Lens. It's a 2-cost item and tool asset. Takes up 1 hand slot and commits for a foot. Reaction: after the Segmented Lens enters play, look at the top X cards of your deck. X is your location's printed shroud value, and then put them back on top in any order. Tension condition: whenever you discover 4 or more clues during your turn, and the Segmented Lens then gains fast, exhaust it, and look at the top card of any player's deck or the encounter deck. That's a lot of clues.
That is a lot of clues to trigger this tension effect. In a 3 or 4 player game, I think that's doable. You'd have to work for it, but doable. But then you just get a fast look at a card on top of a deck, which is
Mm-hmm.
pretty nice. That said, for Natalie, it was a 2-cost fast look at the top X cards of your deck, which is what I used it for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
And it was nice for that purpose. I mean, even ignoring the fact that it was fast, like it's still nice for what it is, but in a solo game, excluding Natalie, or in a 2-player game, I probably wouldn't play this. To get the 4 or more clues during your turn, you really need to be at like a 3 or 4-player table.
Yeah, you just need enough clues on board. Like it's tough to manage. And plus, her being able to give this card fast makes this actually quite more interesting.
Yeah,
Because you can just
for
like up fast, shoot that out, look at the top, you know, between 2 and 5 cards,
yeah,
and rearrange to what you want, uh, and move on if you needed it.
yeah. Excluding Natalie, I'm finding it very hard to want to put this in a deck. Like for general use, it's kind of hard to want to put in a deck at 1 or 2 players.
This is going to be something that's going to be coming up a lot because it's how my brain works. Now that I've played him once, I'm going to want to play him a bunch more. Morris it also is not bad because anything that lets me in Seeker or Survivor lets me look at the top card of the encounter deck is very useful.
Yep.
So this would be something that I would probably put into him at higher player counts, just for more
Yep.
effects that do that. The upgraded one is level 2, and it changes the scry effect of looking at the top cards of your deck, where it's 2 plus the printed shroud, and that is it can commit for a book as well. So, but that is the only thing that changes for the 2 XP.
Yeah, it's still 4 more clues. It's still just look at the top card. Exhausted, look at the top card of a deck. I mean, it's just what you wanted from the original one, but better.
Yeah, but you'll see more cards.
Yeah. I still really don't think I'm going to play this in most decks unless it was 3 or 4 player, but at 3 or 4 player, especially if you're wanting to do a bit of scrying, yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Not
it's got a place.
yeah. It's not amazing, it's not for everybody. It has a place.
It is particularly good in Natalie though. I will definitely say that.
Yeah. Next up is Simon Carver Sees All, Knows All. An ally commits for a will icon, ally performer and scholar traded. 1 health, 2 sanity. While in play, you get +1 will. There are not a lot of level 0 seeker allies that give you will. Reaction, after he enters play, name a trait and look at the top 5 cards of your deck. For each card with the named trait, you may either draw or discard that card, then shuffle the searched deck. Tension, if you play 3 cards in the same round that share a trait, Simon Carver gains +1 health and +1 sanity.
Neat. It's weird that it says shuffle the searched deck. Like he can look at other decks. But it only ever does your deck.
That is just peeking ahead. That is for the level 3 version, which lets you look at the name a trade, look either at the top 5 cards of your deck or the encounter deck.
Ah, there it is.
So technically speaking, on the level 0 version, it doesn't need shuffle the search deck, but it's templating to copy.
I see.
Before reading further on the upgraded one, this is fine. Here's the thing: I can't say there's anything wrong with him.
No, there's nothing wrong. A little expensive maybe for the effect, but he does give you +1 will. So
which is not common.
No, and so if you are like a will focused seeker, which is also not particularly common, Norman.
Norman could get some interesting use out of him.
And then on top of that, it lets you look for a specific trait that you can change each time you play it.
Before I forget, there was something, I didn't read what it was, but there was something in Circus Ex Mortis that cared if you were Norman Withers.
Neat. Love it.
So I might be Norman Withers when we play.
I love it. I love little specific things like that. It's my favorite thing that you can hide in these games.
So yeah, at level 0, the will boost is nice. The drawing cards, if you know your deck, is nice. And then playing 3 cards that share the same trait in the same round, you're going to have to be relying on fast things, /be Natalie. Yeah, the health and sanity is nice.
The thing with this one is that the tension is just kind of a bonus on it.
Yeah.
Like if it was just everything else, I think it's a perfectly reasonable card. And then it just has the tension where if it triggers, it triggers. Like I don't need to worry about it.
Yeah. In at least the way I was playing Natalie, this wasn't what I was looking for, and I did not take him. But I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I guess it's just if you want to be more, if you have access to level 0 seeker and you want to do mystic spell shenanigans, this is an in-class will option that can draw you some cards to help you find, perhaps, like, oh yeah, I'm going to call spell to like just find my spell effects.
Right.
Also interesting that you can discard it. I guess you could. Oh, you could name your weakness.
Yeah, you can name the trait of your weakness.
That's clever.
That.
Okay.
So like this, like I said, it's a fun effect. Especially because brief side note: all of the allies, all of the like, how do I want to call this? I like to call them like signpost allies because there's normally one sign, like one big ally for each class, and
Sure.
in an investigator expansion. Um, all of the signpost allies for each class in this one are like different parts of circus performers. So like this guy's the
I mean,
mentalist.
the whole set is very circus themed.
They are, yes, but like that's like all the ones
Yeah.
that aren't in the investigators are here in the signpost allies, and this one is the mentalist.
Yeah. The upgraded version still costs 4. He's 3 XP though. Gains an additional will icon. That's interesting. While he's in play, not only do you get the +1 will, but you get the +1 intellect. That is very nice. As we said, you get to name a trait and look at the top 5 cards of either your deck or the encounter deck. Again, very interesting. What you could do with that, especially if you're. I'm
No,
just imagining like,
no,
oh, we're playing TCU and I call Spectral. Yeah. And then still has the if you place 3 cards with the same in the same round that shares a trait, he'll get the +1 health, +1 sanity.
you get to do it to the encounter deck now, so I can either draw or discard them from the encounter deck
Yep.
on my turn,
Yep.
and it gives me
Mr.
+1
Robinson.
will, and it gives me will. I told you this investigator has warped my brain.
Yes.
I keep looking for these types of effects now, and it's just way more of them than I ever thought there would be. Once again, this is nice. Like it also coming and giving you a book is also nice in Seeker.
Mm-hmm.
And then literally just even if you name a trait that doesn't exist and you just get to look at the top 5 cards of the encounter deck is also just nice.
Yep. No, I think it's a solid upgrade. I still like he's definitely more of a niche ally. That again, I can't say there's anything strictly speaking bad about him. It's just I don't see the immediate home.
No, he's definitely one where people are gonna be like, oh well this is neat. And like it's like, oh I'm playing Natalie or I'm gonna be playing what you like to do sometimes, Chad, and you have your walking library.
Yeah.
Simon Carver wouldn't be terrible there because you can just say
No.
tome and
Yeah.
like
If you
something
if
else
you
like
have something you're looking for.
or like if you just know you're gonna play like 20 cards with the same trait, right?
Like some crazy person.
No, it's just what people do. Like
Yeah.
I had originally for the Iron Man was gonna be making a Trish Insight deck and doing a whole bunch of nonsense with insights, and this would help me with that. Right, like
Yeah.
if you just do insight, it lets you look for the cryptic resources, which immediately you get to draw those and make money. So he effectively can be free to play because those things can then pay for themselves with plus various other things. So yeah,
Do you
but
want
yeah,
to spotlight the next card?
well, why not? Spotlight is a 3 cost asset. With takes up the accessory slot, item and tool traded, commits for a fist, heavy.
Sure does.
Uh-huh. Reaction after Spotlight enters play, reduce your location's shroud value by 2 until the end of your turn. Tension condition is the last clue on your location is discovered, and you get +1 book.
Also, since so many of these cards had tension effects, they take up a lot of text space. This card actually has flavor text.
Oh. Was that thing even plugged in? You know what? That's a great question.
I did run this card in my Natalie deck because it was just like, oh, if I've got a bunch of money and I just really need to reduce the shroud of this location for a round,
Mm-hmm.
I can just chuck out this at 3 cost fast, reduce shroud by 2 isn't bad. And if it's my first one, throw it out at a location that's giving me a little bit of trouble early, get the last clue off of it, and just have a static +1 intellect.
Yeah, on your accessory slot.
Yeah,
That
it's
is nice.
expensive. It
It
also
is a
gave
little
me
expensive.
and it gave me a strength icon. For what it's worth, it did give me a strength icon when I needed it.
Yeah, which I'm sure actually was pretty useful.
Yeah, just a little bit of insurance.
Yeah. The leveled version is level 3, which reduces its cost by 1.
Much more
Uh,
palatable.
yep. The main effect is the same, but the tension reward is it gives you +1 book and +1 foot.
Hmm.
And that just seems good. I can't really say
It's
too much more than that. It
it's
seems
real
good.
good. Not that it mattered for my solo play, but it's just when the last clue is discovered, not even that you have to discover the
Yeah,
last clue.
yeah, I was to say it's a pretty good tension effect.
Oh, also, important distinction, the a regular spotlight level 0 is until the end of your turn.
Oh,
The
that's to the
upgraded
end of the
version
round.
is till the end of the round, so you can help other people with it too.
Ooh, that does
For
make. I was about to say it's maybe one XP too heavy, but that seems more reasonable.
for 3 XP, it's getting a -1 cost, +1 intellect icon. If you if you meet the tension requirement, gives you an agility boost, and it works for the entirety of the round that you play it.
Hmm.
That's pretty decent.
That's not bad. Also, on top of it, a key thing to note as well. Um, the way Spotlight reads is it reduces your location shroud value. So if you were to move during your turn, it would change your the current location's shroud value.
Reduce your location shroud value by 2 to the end of turn. Yeah, I guess it would. I hadn't considered it that way. I just kind of like mentally read it as the location that I am at.
Yeah, but it doesn't attach to the location, so the game doesn't know that.
Yeah, and it just reduced your location shroud by 2 because you're walking around with a giant. Speaking as someone who has operated a spotlight,
Yeah, yeah,
how
that's we're
does
not
this
gonna.
thing only fit my? How does this thing only take up my accessory slot?
Yeah, we're not gonna think about that part. That's how is the juggler juggling people?
That's fair. Uh, tuning fork. It's a 2 cost asset, commits for an agility, is item, tool, and instrument traded. Instrument is an interesting trait. I don't believe anything else has been interested. I don't think anything in the official game is instruments traded.
Not even the
Not
guitar
even. Actually, let me check. Um, Let me check if the guitar.
or produces violin,
Okay, there are cards that are instrument traded. I stand corrected.
and the
Um,
viola case. No.
Takes up a hand slot, if I didn't already say that, but Tuning Fork. As an action, you can exhaust Tuning Fork to investigate. You get +1 intellect for this test for each treachery. Okay, I already see where this is going. In your threat area attached to your location or next to the agenda deck. Attention. You successfully investigate at a location with Tuning Fork with +3 or more from its ability. If you succeed while using the above ability, you then discover additional clue for all subsequent uses.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah, that's really playing into the
Dude, did
that
Tomas
same
and
niche.
Beard talk to each other?
I
Like
don't know.
come up with investigator that I was gonna love, and then the other one was like, "Oh, I have a bunch of fun abilities and like cards for this person."
I mean, it might play into Natalie having a low will, so it's a way to compensate her for
Oh, that's
some of
fair.
those things that would attach to her and kind of stick to her.
That's a fair point.
I
It is
will say
also
that,
just kind of a neat thing because, as well, it's just a neat effect. I'm just surprised that
yeah,
it's in Seeker.
a little bit too. Yeah, I will say I did not spend much there. I basically did the rogue thing and barreled through will checks.
Yeah, that's what you do. You just you just get past it. You take your lumps and you move on.
Yep. The upgraded version is level 1. It gains a will icon. It's still 2 costs, still item tool asset, sorry, item tool and instrument, still takes up a hand slot. You still, as an action exhausted to investigate, you still get +1 book for each treachery in your threat area attached to your location next to the agenda deck. Great. The difference, other than the will icon, is tension. You successfully investigate a location with tuning fork with +2 or more intellect from its ability, instead of +3. For 1 XP, that's fine.
Yeah,
You're just making it more consistent.
it's almost to the point where I almost would rather just not play with the level 0, because the level 1 actually probably is just a little more convenient.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. That's kind of the trick when you have a level 0 and a level 1 card, is you have to, like. They have to justify themselves a little bit of, like, oh, why aren't you just level 0? Or why isn't the levels. Like, why is the levels. Like, the level 1 card has to justify why it isn't level 0, and the level 0 card has to justify why isn't it level 1.
Yeah, like, I mean, not everyone has access to, like, seeker level 1, right? So, like, some people just get access to, level 0 cards, or, like, items, tools, or whatever, right? So, like,
Yeah.
if you can, the level 1 is probably just where you'd want to do. It's worth the experience, like, if you're just, like, wanting this type of effect. If you can't take the level 1, you're probably just not triggering tension all that much.
Which, honestly, I don't mind.
It's fine, right? Like, it exhausts, so you'd prefer it, just because, like, otherwise it's just like a weird lockpicks.
Yeah.
So you'd want to be getting something for this, so, like, you need to, like, figure that out.
Yeah. Like, assuming that you have, like, a thing or two out, like, treachery cards out, it's only giving you a +1 or +2 to a single check. So, like, it's fine. There's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing flashy about it, which is why I'm kind of, like, forgiving of, like, oh yeah, the level 0 version needing it to be 3 or more. I'm like, yeah, that's really hard to do, which is good for a level 0 version versus the level 1 version just 2, which is notably easier. I mean, like, obviously easier. I'm fine with the two versions. They are just
Yeah.
very similar
If you
inherently.
if you have access to also reading this card, it also gets a lot better, especially once you get tension going, because it's just a repeatable uh way to get 2 clues a turn.
Yeah, and
Like,
as we learned, it also is just going to be heavily dependent on if the encounter deck is throwing out things that stick.
yeah. Uh, and once again, good in Morris Robinson, because that's what he likes to hear.
Yep.
Well, that's the last of our assets. So we go on to our events.
Sure.
Oh, shush, shush. Silence, please. Which is a level 0 seeker event, tactic and trick traded. Commits for a book and a will. Fast, play when you initiate a skill test. Non-weakness cards cannot be committed to the test. Other events cannot be played until this test resolves. If this test succeeds, discover 2 clues from your location. Trying to wrap my brain around it. Other events cannot be played until this test resolves?
Can I talk now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So it's an anti-shenanigans card.
Yeah.
So you can't. You're taking a test. You initiated a test.
Uh-huh.
You cannot commit anything to it unless it's a weakness.
I see.
And you can't play any events during it. No one can play events during it. But if you can succeed this restricted test, you get 2 clues from your location. But this can be any test.
That's what I just realized. It was like this is literally any test, though. That is neat.
Without the aid of hidden tools, wires, ropes, platforms, trapdoors, or body doubles.
I love it.
For a level 0 card, I mean, it seems a bit good for level 0.
I mean, maybe it's particularly good. So here's how I want to put this. What test are Seekers doing that they're likely going to be able to do this without the aid of any other tricks?
Investigate.
Right. So on low player counts, what does this matter?
I suppose.
So like in high player counts, this is just a level 0 way of bursting down a location that is like a low shroud value, which they probably would have done anyway, so it saves them maybe an action or two.
It's kind of like a level 0 deduction level 2, but doesn't give you icons.
Yeah, right?
Kind
Like,
of.
yeah. And like, so you're telling me that like a daisy or anything else with like that can get up to 6 can like burst down like a 2 shroud location fast? I'm like, this maybe saves them one action.
Sure.
I would probably say it should probably cost a little bit of money, but
Yeah.
I think
I,
otherwise it's probably fine. It's not like helping you. It's not like helping you burst down a big location. Yes.
it's tactic traded.
Oh.
Sorry.
Ah.
Sorry. So it's tactic traded, which immediately made me think about putting it on Stick to the Plan, which immediately reminded me of my Roland License to Kill deck. And yeah, I can just smack something for and murder it because I'm going to be so obnoxiously high up on my attack
Huh?
anyway. Kill it, get a clue, and get 2 more clues on top of it.
Yeah. I was just thinking about putting in a Mark Harrigan.
Also, totally fine. Yeah, I I think it's a again, these are finalized cards. Like there's nothing being changed about them. I think it might be a little good for level 0,
Like I said, I just
but
think it should cost. I just think it shouldn't cost 0. It should probably cost like $2.
sure. But shall we compare it to its leveled up version?
Yes. The leveled version adds an additional book. Um, and the main thing that changes is that if it succeeds, you discover 2 clues from among your location and revealed connecting locations.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Like,
Oh,
that's it just means that you're more likely to be able to get something for this. And now those seekers can do this during investigation tests to get clues from other locations in addition to what they're about to get from this location.
yes. Okay, I have a weird train of thought if you're willing to join me on it.
Sure, let's follow the train.
Look what I found.
Uh-huh.
Look what I found is 2 cost, and you can play it retroactively.
Yes.
Okay? You have to. It's fairly easy to fail an investigate check by 2 or more, or by 2 or fewer,
Uh-huh.
but you have to finagle it a little bit, sure. So, silence, please, gets you 2 clues in the same way that Look What I Found gets you, but you have to put it out on the table. You can just sit on Look What I Found until it applies, but no, you have to put it on the table that this is what I'm doing and going for it. I still think it's a little good for level 0, but in that train of thought, I do more favorably look at the level 0 version and go, this is fine.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's relatively fine, right? Like, it's one of those things where at level 0, like, if you were a 5-book investigator and you were on a 2 shroud location, it's gonna maybe overperform, but you're also seeker, so you are gonna just destroy that location anyway. Like
The
like I said, this one card in your deck is maybe saving you one action. Then, if there's no more low shroud locations, like it doesn't help you burst down a high shroud location, which is the more like challenging
dip,
part of your
yeah,
job. Like, and if you are stat balling and you get your book up to you can relatively get your book up to like 10,
Well,
then this is being useful. But like at that
you
point, you're probably going to be able to do it anyway. So
you could spend money on stat boosters.
that's true. You can.
That is perfectly legal under this card.
And in that
Uh,
case, I think it's fine because I think enhancing stat boosters that way is a good thing.
sure.
Because you
Yeah.
have to have
I,
another card in play and then spend money on that. So that's fine.
yeah. For what it's worth, the level to kind of like crystallize my thoughts, I think the level 0 version is fine. Perhaps a little above curve. Um, I kind of agree that having it cost 1 or 2 would bring it more in curve, but it's again
I
a moot
think
point.
I think at this
Level
point
2
it's
version.
useful both because it's tactic traded and trick traded, so it can go into other places other than Seeker.
Yes.
Because Rita can
Those are
take it for tricks, and Mark can take it for tactics. And
yeah.
Mark
I
taking
wouldn't
it is a little tricky.
I wouldn't run it in single player for the most part.
I wouldn't
Because
Mark.
just and okay, Mark would, but I guess for like your traditional seeker, I wouldn't run it in single player. There's just not enough clues for it to
No,
matter.
there's not enough clues to care.
All right. So next up is Equilibrium, 2-cost event, insight and trick traded. Commits for a will and an will and agility. I know what words. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck and the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. Choose and discard 2 of those cards. So, of the 4 cards you get to look at, which are 2 encounter cards and 2 player cards, you can choose and discard 2 of the 4 cards, returning the remaining to the tops of their respective decks in any order. If you did not discard any encounter cards, because you have to choose and discard 2 cards. You have to of the 4 cards. Sorry, I'm all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So, starting over, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Look at the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. Of the 4 cards that you are looking at, you must choose and discard 2 of those. Whatever cards you don't discard, go back to whatever deck they came from in whatever order you want to.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you did not discard any encounter cards, discover a clue at your location. That's neat. Sorry, it took me a minute to
Yeah,
put it
this
together.
feels. This is a card I would almost like to see at costing close to 0.
Yeah, the 2 cost is interesting here. I mean,
I
I
just
guess it
don't
is
know if
letting
it
you
does
mess with
enough.
the stack. Yeah,
Like
it's a
it's more
little.
encounter card it's encounter deck manipulation, which is nice.
It is
But
also a
like,
clue if you're
but
willing
like,
just to ditch your cards, which
yeah,
could
but
be a weakness.
that's true. I guess it's gonna just the thing for me is that it's so. How do I want to put this? Like it's inconsistent. It's inconsistent in what its utility is. So like, what am I putting in the deck for? Am I gonna mainly put this in the deck for encounter deck manipulation? With the cost being the top 2 cards of my deck, and I'm just not gonna care about what those are. Or am I mainly putting this in to like find like cards in my deck? Probably not the second one.
Yeah,
Like the clue seems like
it's
a nice side benefit, but I can't bank on it because I don't know. Like it's gonna have different value over the course of a game, and like the utility is inconsistent.
yep. It's it's a card that I could see myself being like, oh, I would like to run this card, but then when I finish making my deck, it's like card number 31 or 32 that I cut because I'm like, it's not a little weird
I will say
because it's not
this.
even.
I will say
Go
this. It
ahead.
is trick traded. So in Trish with Chuck Fergus,
Yep.
this is interesting.
It's also insight traded. Oh, insight means you can run this in old Joe's hunch deck.
See, in the Hunch deck, I now think this is neat.
This is neat in the hunch deck
So,
because
and
he's
this
got
would be
2
made
will.
before, and this was made before New Joe.
Yes. Let's take a look at when the Circus. I know I looked this up. Circus Ex Mortis, Arkham. Um, when is the articles from 2023? So this is around. This is like Feast of Hemlock Vale ish.
Yeah, but it's before before
Scarlet.
2.0.
Yeah,
Before
yeah.
Circus Mortis.
It
So
seems to be.
I only bring this up because the beard typically is pretty particular sometimes with design. So
Yeah.
there is an intent involved.
Also, this
Uh,
might be particularly good in one of the investigators we haven't looked at yet.
that's also true. So but I see this, but this being in the hunch deck, now I see a lot more utility because it's going to cost you 0, and you're going to be able to now get to look at other types of cards of your deck, and if you're and then you want to and that's a person who wants to know what's coming in the encounter
Yep.
deck as well. So that seems, and like if you're fine with what's coming up and you like don't want those cards, you can then just get a free clue.
So yeah, I'm looking at the upgraded version. So there's a
Yeah.
level 1 version. It's still 2 costs, still commits for will and an agility, still insight and trick traded. It's now look at the top 3 cards of your deck and the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. So you're getting more search out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I appreciate that. But now you choose and discard 3 of those cards, returning the remaining to their respective decks in any order. If you did not discard any encounter cards, which in this instance is discard the 3 cards off the top of your deck, discover 2 clues from your location.
Mm-hmm. You know, this to me is just a card that I'm going to be using to discover 2 clues at my location.
Yeah, as long as you're okay with ditching the top 3 cards of your deck, which if you're running whatever the first thing we looked at was memorization, that's an easy way to get stuff back into your deck.
Well, that only works during the memorization only works during the upkeep phase.
I know, but if you're discarding it during when you play Equilibrium and you put it in the discard pile, if you're over hand size or otherwise discarding things, you can then get whatever select things you want back into your
Oh,
deck.
I see. I see.
That's where I'm going with this. I'm like, it's enabling some of
Yeah,
that
playing equilibrium
play.
in a big hand archetype. I see.
Yeah, because if you're just shuffling it back into your deck, it's not nearly as big of a cost. It's just more of like
Mm,
a spend 2, rearrange the top 3, ditch a couple of cards.
yeah, it's also not
It's
bad in like a Daryl deck or even probably a Barnaby deck.
no, it's not terrible. No, actually, no, it's not terrible in Barnaby at all. Actually, neither of these are terrible in Barnaby. Barnaby can't take the level 1 version though.
Oh, well, once again,
I don't think.
like I said, the level 1 version is this is one of those cards that I would almost take the level 1 version just because it's a way for Teslas to get 2 clues.
Yeah,
With the
George
comp.
is
As long
just
as you're
level
okay.
0.
What was that? Oh, George is just
George is
level
just
0.
level 0, Seeker and Rogue.
Well, it's still not terrible, but like I said, Insight trick traded, so Trish being able to like either make this fast or reduce its cost is also not bad. As long as you're okay with just ditching cards and like knowing or having that extra utility in there. There's things here. It's
Yeah,
like I said, the level 1 is neat because being able to get 2 clues Teslas is quite good. And if you're okay with putting things in the discard pile or can do something with that, depending on who you are, like Min probably thinks this is neat as well because like she has survivor access, so she can probably do shenanigans with the. She can probably find some way to do shenanigans with the discard pile.
yep,
So there's things here. It's a little more niche though, but it does a thing neatly, and it's you probably just want to do the level 1 if you can.
yeah.
Okay, next Masquerade.
Paper faces on parade.
It's a 2 cost. Event, Insight and Trick traded again, commits for a will and a foot. As an additional cost to play Masquerade, place one of your clues on your location. Okay. And you evade using your book instead of your foot. And if you succeed and the target is non-elite, you discard the enemy.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I think
It's
the
a
clue
little
drop is
expensive, but it
yeah.
solves the enemy.
It does. It is solving an enemy though in Seeker, especially as a way to attack them on their agility. If that's like the best way to target certain enemies.
Yep.
I I think it's fine. It's a good level 0 escape.
Yep. Flavor text is hide your face so the world will never find you.
Oh,
Which is from
it's also
the
from
song
yeah.
Masquerade from the Phantom of the Opera.
And the level 1 version just reduces its cost by 2. So it costs 0.
That's a good level 1 upgrade.
Yeah. I think it and I still think it's fine because I think the effect is niche.
Yeah. It solves an enemy. That's the important thing.
It does solve an enemy, which is very nice.
Honestly, there's part of me that's like, honestly, the leveled up version could have been level 2 and I'd still would have been pretty okay with it.
It's close.
But
It's close. The clue drop makes it like
yeah,
it's probably particularly good in clue drop decks as a way to like keep your nonsense going and various other things.
Silence Please is a really good card for clue drop decks.
It's true.
Sorry, just a random thought.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I got to say. Quick card for once.
Yeah. Next up is multitasking. It's a level 0 1 cost insight and trick event. Commits for a will and an intellect. Draw one card for each different type of action you have performed this round, including this action. Types include activate, engage, evade, fight, investigate, move, play, resource, and draw. The flavor text is all while reciting Shakespeare's sonnets.
Okay, that's pretty fun.
That's fun.
Um, I mean,
So,
this is probably gonna just get you 2 or 3 cards.
so at bare minimum, it's getting you 1.
Yeah, you're never doing that though.
No. So, assuming that you fought and activated, let's say you investigated and activated as your first action. So, let's say first action, you investigate and activate.
Mm-hmm.
Then, next action, you move. And then,
Mm-hmm.
last action, you play this for 1 cost. That gets you 4 cards. That's not bad.
Yeah, but you could Pathfinder, right, for a free move.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been an action that you performed. I don't think.
That's probably true because you didn't actually do an action.
And I think Pathfinders, yeah.
Yeah, it just says
The
move to a location. It doesn't give the bold, right? That's the thing that we care about is either an act using an action ability or actually having a bold keyword, like a bold word.
yeah. The trick to this is that you have to remember is this card is kind of faded traded. It's not, but it's kind of like it's faded
Yeah,
traded.
you should always be doing this as your last action if you're doing it.
But if you draw a bunch of cards as your last action, the odds of you finding something you don't want is actually kind of a cost to this card that I kind of
Yeah,
like.
it's true. Once again, it's also trick traded,
Yep.
so you can make it fast with Chuck Fergus
Yep.
and various other things that involve tricks.
Speaking of making it fast, the
Oh,
level 1 multitasking is a still 1 cost insight trick event. It is now fast. Draw
huh.
1 card for each different type of action you performed this round. It does not say including this one because it's
It's fast.
fast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Typically, making it fast costs 2 XP,
Yeah,
so
I
that's a
don't
little
mind
above
this.
curve in that regard.
I just love the idea of drawing a bunch of cards on your last action and that blowing up in your face.
Yeah, I mean, I it's generally a fine card, right? Like big
Yeah,
draw cards are not like huge in Arkham just for the chance of drawing your weakness when you don't want to.
sure.
At least I just don't
Also,
see I don't see a lot of cards that are like, "Oh, I'm going to just now draw 4 cards." Like there's just not a lot of like people aren't like always wanting to dig that deep without knowing what's coming.
yeah. Also, I do enjoy off-class splash for this. It's a good card draw.
I
For
agree with that. That this is really good for non main class seekers. This is
yeah,
just
even the
really
level
good.
0 version. It's a solid like I just want to draw a bunch of cards,
Yeah, any
like 3
O2
cards.
seeker is like gonna look at this and be like, I have other things I'm doing, but this is a great way of just refilling my hand.
Yeah, just it's a blind refill, but it's still refilling.
Yeah. So I think it is a fine card. Like you said, like it's great when like you don't have any more actions. Like and you're
Yeah,
now gonna draw a bunch of cards and this could be bad for you. Okay. Our next event is muscle memory. It's a 0 cost tactic traded. Commits for a fist and a foot. Fast, play after investigator at your location plays an asset. That investigator may immediately play another asset at -1 cost.
I really like this card. It's not flashy or super good. It's just
Was this
solid.
good in Natalie? Did you play it in Natalie?
I played a copy of it in Natalie, and it was good because it would be just like, yeah, I'm gonna throw out my magnifying glass at. I play an asset, my magnifying glass level 1, so it's free, and then I could just throw another thing out at -1 cost. Yes, it's probably an ally I could have played out at fast anywho, but it reduces the cost and makes my life easier.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
just nice.
yeah, it's neat, right? This is a neat card in my mind. Like, being the ability for it to help set up your like seeker or mystic seems very useful.
Well, I
Um,
ran a copy or two of this in that Roland deck.
yeah, I don't remember if you ever triggered it.
I think I did. Like, it's just great for asset heavy setup decks, and the thing that I love about this is it works on anybody. So if
Yeah,
I'm set up,
yeah,
it works on you setting up. I just love it.
yeah. It like it's useful. Like it just seems it's useful. It has support utility, and I like that.
hmm
The level 3 version uh
Very expensive.
adds a wild, and then that put the player may immediately play up to 2 other assets at -2 cost each. So that now this is more of a like an economy piece. Like you can like really save them a lot of money with this.
Yeah. It's great if you could have it like first turn.
Yes. Or if there's
But
someone that's really gonna cycle through a lot of things.
yeah. The trick of it though is that because it is now level 3, it is out of like Roland's hands, for example, to put on
Yeah.
stick to the plan. So
Yeah. So now
like
you have to
it's
like
a
you have
go ahead.
to figure out who what home it belongs in. Yeah.
Yeah, the level 1 version I can stick in a Roland deck and put it on stick to the plan, and like it's just gonna do me like not a lot, but a solid amount of work. The level 3 version, I'm like, man, that's really good for what it does, but who's gonna take it? And
Right.
how am I going to make it like ensure that it happens? I think it's worth 3 XP in the right situation though.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing would be you'd want to just have it available for yourself, right? Level 0 magnet. Like in Natalie, this is probably not terrible, right? Like
No.
just do the same trick with the level 1 magnifying glass, and then because you can always bounce the magnifying glass back to your hand to make sure you have it to play this. So it's like do that, and then you immediately just get to plop out 2 other assets,
Yep. It gets the batons out for free.
and then you just get to like do all the nonsense. So
Yep.
it seems like a fun little like burst card for some shenanigans.
Yeah. Next up is Pyrotechnics, which I didn't expect just based off of the name that it would be Seeker, but it does have the science trait, which I do appreciate,
Which does
making it
make
more.
sense. Of the circus things, the pyrotechnics would be the science.
Yeah, yeah, I do get it. Like my initial response to Pyrotechnics is, "What is this doing here?" And then it's like, "Oh, you're science trading it." Okay, I'm on board. Pyrotechnics, 2-cost event, science, and trick traded. A lot of tricks. Do like that. Commits for a strength and agility. Fight or evade. Add your intellect value to your skill value for this test. If you succeed, attach pyrotechnics to the targeted enemy. Forced at the start of the investigation phase, deal 1 damage to the attached enemy and discard pyrotechnics.
Okay.
So, on one hand, I'm a little not that adding stats is exclusively a rogue thing, but it has been more traditionally a
It's
rogue thing.
pretty much a rogue thing.
It's more traditionally, and I'm trying to think of immediately, I mean, I suppose there is leveled up bind over matter that adds your intellect to your other stats. So it's not unprecedented. So it's basically super evade, and then at the start of the next investigation phase, deal a damage. That's not bad. The super evade's what you're playing it for.
Yeah. I mean, it also is effectively 2 damage as
2?
well.
Oh, if you fight with it, it would be
Yeah.
2 damage, yes.
It's just the second one's delayed. So
Yeah. It works on elites.
it does work on elites. So it's not nothing. Um I think it's overall fine.
Yeah.
Um the level 2 version?
The level 2 version is still 2 cost. Still fights or evade, adding your intellect to the skill test. It does gain a strength icon. And then again, if you succeed, attach pyrotechnics to the targeted enemy. But now, at the start of the investigation phase, deal 2 damage to the attached enemy and 1 damage to each other enemy at its location when you discard it. Or then it discards itself, I guess I should say. It this is obviously better. It feels more like it's great in Swarm. Uh
Yeah. It's
it's
just
great with swarms.
yeah, it's just it's a unique kind of card.
Yeah.
And the delay really is odd on it. The fact that it lets you both fight or evade, but then you still get to. There's value here on it, and that's nice.
Yeah. I like the theme of it too.
I like it too. Like I said, I kind of don't like it when seekers get all things from that are primarily other factions, like other classes stuff.
Are you referring to the stat edition or are you referring to the explosive damage?
No, I'm talking about the stat edition mostly. Like I like it when seekers have to work to do their things that are fighting or evading.
Sure.
Like if it just used their book, that would be I would be more than okay with it. Like this would
Sure.
be just fine. It's just that's just me. Like but otherwise I think it's relatively okay. I
Yeah.
think this is just a like all the other like seeker enemy solving things, like this is just like that but a little extra but like a little different. So
Yeah, it seems fine. The upgraded one's definitely more niche. The delayed damage has typically delayed damage hasn't been great in Arkham. So I'm okay with the first one being kind of under like level 0 one just being like here's a solid evade or a solid fight if you really need it. Honestly, I would only really imagine myself using it for the evade because it only does one It'll do 2 damage
I can
over
only ever
time.
imagine it using it for the evade if you're in Seeker.
Yeah. If you're splashing it, I could see some arguments. It seems niche. Most people aren't going to want it, but I can see it being useful in the right situation.
Yeah, like unless there's like some like extra things that you can do for like whenever you deal damage to an enemy, that you get to trigger something.
Yeah, I could see that stacking nicely, but
Yeah, like
I'm blanking on what would
I
do
don't think
it.
there is such an effect, but like I think it's relatively fine. I think its value is kind of overshadowed. Like it's mostly like you said, it's mostly a big super evade. Like it's like you're going to be able to evade really well with this.
Yeah. Quick,
Okay.
Nick, do the math.
57. Okay. Rapid calculation is a zero cost insight and trick event. It's for a book and a foot. Fast play after you place one of your clues on your location. Discover a clue from your location and draw a card.
Okay, I kind of love that.
Oh, clue drop cantrip.
Yeah, it takes the sting out of dropping the clue and replaces itself, but it just saves you the action of having to pick it back up.
Yeah, I just that's just what it is, right? Like that's just the combo piece for clue drops. It
Yeah,
replaces itself. Neat.
for level 0, love it. It's
Yeah.
great.
What does the level 3 version do? Same trigger commits for 2 books and 2 foot. And then
Instead of 1 and 1, okay.
fast play after you place any amount of clues on your location. Discover that many clues, and for each clue discovered, draw a card.
Okay, I'm
It's
just trying to
really
think about.
specific.
I'm just trying to think about.
How many clues can you drop? Like 2 or 3
Well, the
at
thing
a
is,
time?
um,
Like there's the like couple of treacheries that make you drop clues. And that can be like a lot.
well, sure. Um, false leads, I believe, is what it is. Um,
I'm just trying to think of like how much this is really gonna do. Like how many clues this is gonna pick you up again.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to figure out. So Kate Winthrop
Yeah.
likes it because she could just drop a bunch of clues out of nowhere. Um, I'm just trying to think about what drops a bunch of place.
There's the one card that searches, right? And you get to pick cards.
Yep, that's not a bad. Uh, what is that card? I think that came out in Hemlock Vale. This is absolutely riveting to listen to, I assume. Sorry, I'm just like, I'm really trying to rack my brain for like, what's a card that lets you drop more than one clue? And there's just not a whole lot of them. Nope, it's not thorough inquiry, well funded, nope. Did it come out in. Did it come out in Scarlet Keys?
What do do?
I'm trying to remember what the name of that card is.
I know it's an event.
Yep. I can picture Rex falling off of his ladder just fine. What is it called?
Ah, yes, the typical problem.
Captivating Discovery.
That's the one.
All right. Search the top 6 cards of your deck. You may place up to 3 of your clues. So place up to. I'm going to copy that as like the language that I care about. Then we're going to go search for place up to. So captivating discovery. Captivating discovery is the. I think captivating discovery might be the only thing that lets you place multiple clues down at once. other than Kate Winthrop's weakness or a treachery that makes you drop a bunch of clues. So, because research notes just ticks up over time. Yeah, after a player card ability places one or more clues on your location, place that number of resources on research notes. Yeah. Sorry, to get back to the actual card that we're talking about here, Rapid Calculation is neat, but I don't know how often I would want the 3 XP version over the level 0 version. The level
Yeah,
0 version is just going to be way more useful in a general sense.
it's just so specific that I don't know
Barring,
if there's much need for it.
yeah, barring, I mean, I've briefly looked through the cards in this set. Like when I was building Natalie, I looked through the cards relevant to me, and I don't remember there, but that was, a couple weeks ago, and I don't remember there being something that's like screaming out to me as drop a whole bunch of clues. But
Yeah, it's specific. So, um, not bad.
yeah, it's
It's
not
like
bad.
it just seems expensive for the effect. So the only reason like I said before that I like care about it is because like the beard typically has like a particular I know the beard has some sort of interaction in mind why he put it at 3 experience.
Yep.
So there's a reason, and there's probably the main reason is probably just to keep it out of off class hands.
Yeah. Gets it out of. It does get it out of Daryl's hands.
Which is probably for the best.
Yeah, it does commit for two. Excuse me, 2 intellect and 2 agility.
Yeah, so it's a flexible card. It it definitely seems like it was intended to be niche because of all the because it commits for 2 and 2. So
Yeah, it's just. I'm just trying to. There's very few instances I would care about it
yeah, so it just seems
over.
like it's a niche combo piece to me.
Yeah. Next up is Read the Audience, a level 0 cost 1 event. It's an insight traded event. Commits for a will and agility. Fast play during your turn. Attach Read the Audience to your location. Tension effect. An enemy moves to the attached location or makes an attack at the attached location. If that tension effect is met, the attached location gets -2 shroud, and each enemy at the attached location gains -1 evade, or gets -1 evade.
8.
So, in the ideal sense, I fast play this down and then trigger an attack of opportunity.
That would be probably the easiest way to do it.
And then now that this doesn't discard itself.
Yeah, it just is on the location now. And you can have more than
Okay.
one on it.
Yeah, okay, this makes way more sense to me now because I'm like, okay, you have to put it down and then you have to trigger the thing and then like it discard. No, it's just
Yeah.
as long as an enemy enters the location or attacks at that location gets -1 shroud and all enemies are
Minus
easier to
2
evade.
shroud.
Sorry, -2 shroud and all enemies are easier to evade by 1.
Yeah, and that
Okay,
just will
that's
stick.
pretty.
And that's just a permanent effect on the location then, as long as the card's there.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. I
That's
like,
neat.
as we've commented before, we like things that modify locations.
I love those effects. That's my. I love making favorable terrain. And that's pretty good. Like Map the Area is one of my favorite secret cards. I do love that card.
The level 3 version gains a wild icon. It's still 1 cost, still insight traded. Still attaches to your location. It just changes it to a -3 to the shroud value and a -2 to the evade.
The tension condition is also different. It's moves to the attached, makes an attack, or activates a forced effect printed on
Oh,
that
I
enemy.
glossed over that. Nice.
So that means that like deep ones. immediately trigger.
Yep. For 3 XP, that's pretty good. If you can put that on a location that's real crucial.
Yeah, you can really get some shroud values to get real low.
Oh, and then especially if there's a big boss monster that you need to placate for a while, just like -2 of
Yeah,
8 because it works on everybody.
right. And that's
For
neat. It's neat.
for
I
3
kind of like
XP,
this one.
that's fine.
Yeah, it's niche. I don't know how many people are gonna want it, but it's cool.
Hmm.
And it's three, and the good one is 3 XP. So like, it gets it out of Trish's hands.
Yes.
Okay, subliminal messaging. A one cost event, insight and trick traded, commits for 2 books. Fast, play after you discover one or more clues. Okay. Give 1 to 3 clues to an investigator at your location. If you gave 3 clues, the chosen investigator draws a card.
I've got a really hot take.
Yeah.
Terrible in solo.
Ah, that's so hot.
That said, I actually do really like this card.
I think it's neat.
There are a number of instances where everyone having clues is helpful, and
Yeah.
if people specialize their deck so much that they don't get like any clues, then this is a way for the cluver just to be like, here, you need some clues. I'm thinking like Lost in Time and Space, where everyone needs 2 clues to leave. This is a way for someone who's not good at getting clues to be helped by someone who is good at getting clues. And, if they give 3 cards, draw a card.
Yeah.
But that's not the reason why I'm playing this card. I'm playing this card to shuffle some clues around.
Yeah, this is definitely campaign tech. Like this is definitely a card that like when you know it's going to be useful in a campaign or some scenarios, it's great.
Yeah, most scenarios, most campaigns don't super care about it, but in the instances where you need it, this is real good.
Yeah. And then the level 2 version gives it
Which
another book, or gives it
nice.
a will icon. Sorry, gives it a will icon. And then lets the chosen investigator draw a card for each clue given.
So I love that this is within splash range at level
Mm-hmm.
2, but I love even more so that now the fact that it gives clues can be seen as either the primary effect or the secondary effect.
Yes, like this is a neat little support card that can be useful for a number of different things, and then also like it's mainly a support card, right? Like you need to have other people and you need to have it with them. So
Yep.
now you can help your guardian out by by giving them cards and clues.
Mm-hmm. Here, hold on to these for me and have some cards while you're at it.
Yeah,
Or
it's
have some cards and hold on to these clues while you're at it.
yeah. Here, these clues, they come with cards.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's a nice little card.
All right. Moving on
Okay.
to the skills. We have concentration, practiced, which is important. And then concentration, so it has 1 wild normally. And then concentration gains 1 wild for every 2 clues you control to a max of +3. So it could be up to 4 wild.
I think
Uh,
this is a good card.
it is a good card. It's especially good in multiplayer when you can be sitting on a bunch of clues and you can commit this to other people.
Mm-hmm. And it's for each clue you control.
Yep, every 2 clues you control.
Yeah. So it doesn't
The
matter. It's not the performing investigators how many they control, like which would
yes,
sometimes happen. So
the flavor text is I am concentrating, but not on the plates. The art is of a woman spinning plates. The leveled up version, it's level 1, still practiced. Still, that is a solid practice card. Oh my goodness, put that in Amanda and it'll go nuts.
any
Sorry.
practice card, like it's just it's just that good. Like, it's good
But
practice makes perfect decks. It's just always going to be a useful card.
yeah, but I'm just thinking in Amanda,
Yeah.
you have even if you just have 4 clues,
Even
that
if you
is
just have two
plus.
clues, it's just an unexpected card for everything.
Yeah, yeah, it's even a better argument for what I was about to say. Concentration level 1, still practiced, still commits for a single wild. It gains a wild for every 2 clues you control, max +3. All of that is the same. However, if you succeed, lower your location's shroud value by 1 until the end of the phase.
And that's especially good in Amanda.
Yes. It's I'm a little torn on it. For 1 XP, I don't mind the like, oh yeah, and if you succeed, reduce the shroud. Oh, goodness, I just realized she just stacks it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's why it's especially good in Amanda.
it's especially good in Magic because she just stacks it. Yeah, you're right. But sorry, the point I was trying to get at before my mind went in a completely different direction was for 1 XP, the card was already solid. So adding on this little like tack on effect is fine. I don't
Yeah,
mind
I think the
it.
card is fine. I think in Amanda it's especially powerful because she can stack it. So and
Yeah.
like it can and the more she uses it, the better it's gonna get. So like it's gonna keep like giving her more the more clues she has. So in Amanda, it's particularly strong, but otherwise, but like that's like saying that one of the strongest investigators uses a pretty good card in a strong way. Like it was like even if it did like the level 0 version, she's gonna just go nuts with. So like the effect is nice. Necessarily like busted.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of wild icons. So like,
It depends on how much you can like really use and abuse this card. And I guess is the real thing.
yeah,
The more
it
you get to
doesn't.
use it, the stronger it gets.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. You're up next.
Yes.
I've preemptively come up with a comment for the next card, but it's your turn to read.
Precision as our next one. It is practiced and expert traded. It commits for 2 books and 2 feet. If you discovered one or more clues this round, Precision gains a book, and if you place one or more clues on your location this round, it gains a foot.
So I have a kind of memey comment. So we'll get my actual thought out first.
Mhm.
I mean, at minimum, this is a 2 intellect, 2 agility card that is practice traded, which means you can do all the shenanigans you want to with practice cards, and you can do all the shenanigans you want to with Amanda. For a bunch of intellect and agility icons, this is a good card.
Mm-hmm.
The meme comment is that it is expert traded. And it should not be expert traded.
Because it's level 0 card.
Expert, because it is level 0. There are no level 0 cards that are expert traded. Practice cards that are leveled get the expert trait. So I am unsure why this has the expert trait. And clearly, that is such a powerful trait that this card is broken by its mere existence on having it.
Yeah. This card is fine.
Yes, this card is fine. It's
Like
neat.
it, yeah.
I like that. Yeah, if you discovered a clue, you get an intellect, which is great for Amanda shenanigans, but also just great generally. I discovered a clue and I commit a bunch to the first investigate check, get a clue, and now this is better for when I'm doing my second one. That's kind of nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like this. And if you placed clues, like you dropped a clue, especially with that evade thing that we were reading earlier, where you drop a clue
Yeah.
to evade, this gives you that.
Like I said, it's fine. I don't have much more to say other than that. I just think it's fine. It's like a lot of other level 0 skills that exist out there. Like it's fine. It's got a condition. It gives you +2. It can give you +3. It can get you over the hump to get across the line, right?
Yes.
Um, I don't think, and people might take it off class because it could
Yeah.
be useful there, and there's use. The level 1 version, like the upgraded version, um, changes it to a book, a foot, and 2 wilds. And then
That's really good.
if you discover one or more clues this round, the precision gains uh, a will in a book. And if you place one or more clues on your location this round, precision gains a fist and a foot. So now, we're talking a lot for a level 1 upgrade. For just a 1 XP upgrade.
Yeah, this is a
That's a
lot
lot.
of icons for a level 1 upgrade.
Because now it turns into the second investigation you want to do gets +4.
Yep.
And if you placed and on top of that, you can get +3 to a will test. Or if you placed a clue, you can get +3 to a fist or +4 to a foot. The second part isn't what I think is the crazy part. I think the crazy part is being able to like suddenly get will and fist icons in there and like get it being wilds. It's
so,
like I said, it's fine. It just does a lot for 1 XP.
yeah, I kind of wish it only had 1 wild to start.
I think it would be fine if it just didn't add the fist and the will. I think that card would be a just fine thing.
I think
it's just saying that it's going to go up to 4 instead of 3.
So
it just also now commits for, I guess. Yeah, no, you're right. I think it should. I take it back, Chad. I take it back. I think you're right. It should have just had 1 wild, and then it could have like gotten a book and a wild and a foot and a wild.
Sure. I actually kind of like that it gives you will and strength as a way for you to like flex on off-class things. I just for 1 XP, like there's a lot of icons going on here, but the problem is it's just a bunch of icons. So like you can't by itself it cannot do anything crazy.
It's just that it's so the icons that it's giving you are so free. Like the stat boost it's giving you is just free. Like I guess for the most part it's mostly just giving you like the main thing, the easiest thing it's giving you is book.
Yeah.
Like it's like giving like a rich man more money, like he's barely gonna notice it.
Yeah, so generally speaking, I don't think I think this card is too good for 1 XP. Like this could have been 2 XP and I would have been happy with it. For 1 XP, I wish it had 1 fewer wild icon. I'm going to reiterate, these cards aren't changing. So like there's no feedback to necessarily be given.
Yeah, it'd be it's like me commenting on official cards.
Yeah. But oh, you know what you can do with this that's kind of stupid?
Oh, let me know, please. I love stupid.
So it's a level 1 card, which means Carson can take it. Okay. There are other people who could also take it and also take Bestow Resolve, but Carson is the one that immediately comes to mind for a Bestow Resolve type of deck. So if you have Bestow Resolve, you can turn all of the icons on your card into wild icons when you then commit it to other people. Or to yourself, even. So this turns it into if Carson or Roland, I guess, could take it, you discovered, or if you played as Joe Diamond, you could take Bestow Resolve, because Bestow Resolve, I'm pretty darn sure, is a level 2 card.
Yeah, it is.
But you discover a clue, so it would then have 1 will, 2 intellect, an agility, and 2 wild. That is 6 icons. I just counted on my fingers like the adult that I am. And you could then bestow resolve that into 6 wild icons into whatever you want it to be.
Neat.
So like, again, it's just a bunch of icons. It's not inherently able to do anything crazy on its own. But for a level 1 card, that is a lot of icons.
Yeah. Like, it's mostly just going to pass you a test. And there's plenty of level 0 cards that do that. It just, when you look at it, it's a lot for 1 XP, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, it's real good.
Fine, because like we just said, it's mostly just icons. There's no extra, like, you're not getting value out of it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, but at minimum, it's bringing Amanda to It's bringing Amanda to 4-5-4-5 before shenanigans.
Yeah, but once again, that's the rich getting richer. She already has plenty of other things
Yeah.
that let her do just that.
Yeah. All right. The last secret card, synchronized, a level 0 practiced. Oh, it's expert traded in level 0 again.
Oopsie.
Oopsie. Dear the Beard, I'm just sassing. Sincerely, Chad. Synchronized, it is a skill, it is practiced, and expert, it commits for a wild. If this test is successful, each investigator who committed one or more cards to this test draws a card.
That's cool.
That's
I
cool.
like
I
that
would
card.
100% put that in a Carson deck.
That's just a
I
cool
put that in a
card, and
lot
I
of
like
decks.
that. That's a fun card.
The leveled up version of Synchronized is level 2. Carson cannot take it. Skill, it's practice and expert still. It still commits for only a wild. If this test is successful, each investigator who committed one or more cards to this test draws a card. If this test fails, return each committed card not named synchronized to their owner's hands.
You know what? Give this card an A+. I like this card. This is neat.
I like this card. It's a very survivor feeling ability. Like the leveled up version feels like it got like a survivor ability spliced into it, but I don't mind it. I my only comment is I kind of wish it was a limit 1 per check, but that's minor at best. I agree with you. I really like this card generally.
Yeah, I like it.
It's great for team play.
I think it's a good team play. Yeah. I think if you only ever used it to commit it to other people's tests, like it's great. I think there's that, and then on top of that, it provides insurance to other people as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a fun card. That's all I can say. Because like if you give it to other people, it's going to always draw you a card.
Yep.
Yeah. Neat.
Any
I love
favorites?
that. Any favorites? Let's see here. Well, quite honestly, Simon Carver is probably my favorite of these, mostly for the things that I am now thinking about him with. It's
I like
because
the
my last
flavor on.
investigator was Morris Robinson, so I think trait and encounter deck, and my brain just looks at it.
Mind reading on this pass has jumped out to me more. I do just like muscle memory for its solid play. Read the audience for terrain benefits. There's
Yeah,
a lot of good cards here. There's no card that I'm looking at. I'm like, what is this doing here?
yeah.
Like,
There's
they're
no
all good.
real like crazy standouts, but they're all neat.
Yes. All right. Nick, do you want to talk about another class, or are you happy for tonight?
Oh, I'd love to keep talking.
All right. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
After you, sir.
Okay. So, Chad gave me the opportunity to pick the next one. I pick Rogue, because that's just what I do. The investigator is Elijah, probably, who is performer and the acrobat, performer and wayfarer traded. 3 will, 2 book, 3 fist, and 4 foot. 7 and 7 on health and sanity. This person is a little complicated. As a reaction, when the round begins, you choose a non-weakness skill in your hand and attach it to your location or a connecting location. And at the end of the round, you discard the attached skill.
Okay.
As an elder sign, you get +2, and if you succeed, you may choose a skill committed to this test and resolve its effects an additional time.
So, just for audience's knowledge, the image is of someone without a shirt on, balancing on what appears to be two spears.
Yes.
Like with two spears on their chest. So they're like laying down on these two spears and like balancing on it.
Yes.
So inherently, they're skill focused. There's no immediate reason that attaching a skill to a location does anything, but you may be able to resolve skill effects in additional time.
Yep. Important thing to note as well, this is a rogue survivor, so this is red-green.
Yep.
Green-red, whatever.
Your favorite.
Yep. For different reasons. It's mostly because Preston is who he is. And then one of his signature cards, because we have to go into this right away because it's important, is Feats of Daring, which is a permanent asset, task traded.
Interesting.
Reaction: after an investigator initiates a skill test, commit one of your skills attached to that investigator's location to that test. After resolving the test, attach that skill to the location instead of discarding it. Limit once per investigator per round.
So, kind of like it's kind of like Min's ability to to staple on a wild icon to one per investigator's card, but in this instance, it's just like if you're at my location, once on your turn, I can commit a card to this card can be committed to your test.
And it's not, you don't have to be there. Like, it's wherever that skill is attached. Because you get to attach it to your location or a connecting location.
Or
and
you don't
have
could move.
to be there. Yeah, and you can leave.
Okay. Neat.
And once again, since you are rogue and survivor traded, you get access to all of those skills. Because you are rogue, so you get all those skills. It's important.
Yeah, like brute force.
Like
just
anything.
Attached to yeah, well, yeah, but I'm just thinking like there's a boss monster, everyone's on it, brute force.
Yep. So anyone can just start throwing hands.
And Haster found a squeaky toy. It's a squeaky. Buddy, why do you have to be at my feet with the squeaky toy?
Which, to say this, it's neat.
Yeah. The thing that like immediately jumps out at me is like, okay, fine, you can like double up on like you can. It's actually maybe a better way of looking at this is it's kind of like Amanda, but for everybody once per turn.
Yeah. And like, I'm not normally like a huge fan of like skill decks. Mostly because I just kind of I don't find it as engaging to like play. Because you kind of just like use the skills and then they do the things. It's not like anything. It's just it doesn't engage me like other things do.
Sure.
So, but this is a little more interesting, mostly because of the like positioning you have to do to it. His other signature card, he has two others, but like, his other one is Death Defying, which is a signature skill, practiced in Gambit traded. Commits for a fist, a foot, and a wild. And if this test is successful, you get to draw one card for each keyword on the target card. So Hunter, Massive, Retaliate, Alert, Peril, Surge, Haunted, all the things that exist on on cards.
So interesting that Surge is on that list. I mean, I know it's a keyword, but it's just kind of fun that if a card like surges, it just gives you a boost. It surges. It's kind of like you're surging as you're drawing cards from your deck. The thing that I'm noting from this is if this test is successful, draw one card for each keyword on the target card. Based off of Guts, for example, if this test is successful, draw one card. That applies to the person doing the test, not to you.
No.
I think that's how was ruled
No,
for like old guts.
I thought that was why they changed it in Chapter 2.
Oh, if you commit this to another player's skill test, the test successful, you draw the card, not the other player. Never mind, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
I misremembered or misunderstood.
Yeah, because they changed it to Performing Investigator. Okay,
never mind. You're right.
So, Death Define becomes like this card that you can commit to everyone that then will hopefully draw you a bunch of cards.
Yep.
And then Foolhardy is the signature weakness, which I think is also a basic weakness.
I don't think so. But keep going.
Okay. Which is Flaw and Blunder traded. It goes into your threat area on Revelation. Forced after you resolve a test and did not succeed by 2 or more, you take a damage or horror. And at the end of your turn, if you took 2 or more tests during your turn, you discard it. Otherwise, shuffle it back into your deck.
Neat.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem, so bad.
No. Overall, I think Elijah is neat. I am still wrapping my brain around all of it in general.
Mm-hmm.
It is the combo-y nature of Rogue that I do love. I think it's a little more interesting to try and push forward, especially considering that it's a 2-book Rogue.
Yeah. 3 will, 3 fight, 2 book, 4 agility. So the interesting thing is he's kind of got double on his Elder Sign
For skills.
for skills, which can be very powerful, and he has the Survivor access to do some Elder Sign shenanigans.
Yeah, he's got Eucatastrophe available to him.
Yep. So, but he has the same thing. Just to reiterate, since it's been a hot minute since, you must have at least 10 more rogue cards than survivor cards. So, like, he's still going to be predominantly rogue.
Mm. But it's neat. That's all I
It's
can really
neat.
say. I don't know how strong it is, but it's interesting.
Yes.
And I am a fan of interesting.
Mm-hmm. The flavor text on the front of his card is that a challenge?
And I do like attaching things to locations. So, like, there's a lot of things here that I like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested in, like, exploring it. So, that might be something I'd look at.
So, we'll take a look at the skill cards introduced here, but generally speaking, rogues don't have the best skill cards at level 0.
They don't, but they have interesting ones.
Yes.
Like, I'm thinking of quick thinking attached to a location.
Sure.
So now when people succeed by enough, they also get an extra action. So like there's things, right? Like, or like upgrading manual dexterity.
Sure.
Is also there. Like, there's just things that are just useful.
Watch this. Oh, watch this could be fun.
Out the door.
I'm just thinking. Yep. Interestingly enough, calculated risk would be weird.
There's just, like I said, the rogue skills that exist are just so different, or just like possibly useful.
Yeah. Real quick, calculated risk is a bad idea because it only works on your tests.
Yes, got to be careful with that one.
Daredevil could be very, very interesting. Diabolical Luck is a good choice. There are some interesting things. I agree.
Yes, if Double Nothing wasn't forbidden, you could do that.
Yeah. Thankfully, it is. But if you want to play with it, be my guest. Actually, you could build a really interesting. Sorry, just looking at the rogue skills, you could build some really interesting curse play out of this.
Yes. Everyone can justify the means.
Yeah, everyone can justify the means, and then you can put diabolical luck out of that. You can put skeptic out of that. Yeah, there's some interesting things. Savant's not even bad for him, because it would be a 3 wild icon card, just inherently. There's some interesting Hatchet Man. Yeah,
There's
okay.
interesting skills to be done here. I guess all I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. Copycat is a nonsense type of thing as well, because everyone gets to go through each other's discard piles for skills.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Obviously, the
it's
the
neat.
stronger skills are definitely becoming from Survivor, but you can only have so many of those before you hit your limit. Yeah, this is interesting.
It's just neat, right? Like it's just a
Yeah.
neat idea. I don't know how good it is, um, or how fun it even is to play. But it's a neat idea, and I love that kind of thing.
Yeah. Ready to move on to the
Let's do it.
standard cards? So the first one up is Alma Rowland. Rowland?
Roland.
The Bullseye Queen. She is a 4-cost ally asset. She is ally, performer, and drifter traded. She commits for an agility icon. She has 2 health and 1 sanity. While she is in play, you get 1 agility. As an action, you can exhaust her and discard an asset you control to deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location. This attack does not provoke attacks of opportunity. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Tension. If you defeat an enemy with the above action ability, when you discard an asset to pay for the above action ability, you may instead shuffle the chosen asset back into your deck.
I love it. I love it.
So she can just chuck things at enemies to do damage, and if you chuck a thing at an enemy and kill it, all subsequent things you chuck get shuffled back into your deck instead of discarded.
I love it.
Real great in Natalie when you have too many things and you want to find uses for them.
I believe it. Like I said, I just think she's a neat. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is almost a cool enough idea that she could be her own investigator.
Sure. For what it's worth, I can't remember if I made... So in my head, I made an error in my playthrough with Alma. I can't remember... I think I only did it with the upgraded version. I might have done it with the lower version. I misread the card and had it wrong in my head. I had that the tension ability put it back into your hand instead of discarding it.
Oh,
so I
yeah,
was just checking level 1 magnifying glasses at things and having a grand old time. I realized my mistake halfway through scenario 4, I want to say. So, it's fine.
That's a lot better.
Yeah, it's... Was I, cheating? Yes. Was it that big of a difference? Not really. I was still spending the actions to chuck things and do damage with that, but yeah, in my experience, even at level 0, Alma is fun.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't care what...
It's also a level 0 rogue that increases your foot.
Yeah, 4 cost is not nothing, but it's nice to have agility in rogue. Alma has an upgraded version, level 3. She's still ally, performer, drifter. She's still 4 cost. She now commits for 2 agility icons. She now has 3 health and 1 sanity. She gives you +1 strength and +1 agility. She can still exhaust her as an action and discard an asset you control to deal damage to an enemy at your location. 2 damage instead if the chosen asset had uses X on it and at least 1 resource on it. So as long as you have a thing that has uses that is not empty, you can do 2 damage instead of 1. Same tension effect that if you defeat an enemy with the above action ability, you instead shuffle the chosen asset back into your deck. Something we didn't specify, chosen asset can be an ally. You can chuck allies at people.
Just says asset.
Just says asset. And remember what I was talking about with Colt Vest Pockets? Well, I think Colt Vest Pockets have 4 bullets when they come into play. There's no way I'm getting through all those bullets. So chuck it.
I love it.
And then
Yeah,
if you get shuffled back into my deck for me to find and then replay,
yeah.
it was good.
That's why I always like it. It's like this is a neat effect. I love this.
Hmm. I she's for what she if that's what you want out of her, she's great at what she does.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say, unfortunately. Like, she does pretty much everything you want her to. Um, it's a good ally for the type of things that she's doing, and it lets you use some of the more disposable rogue cards.
Yep.
Our next one is the Bullseye Air Pistol, a 3 cost uh gun, item, weapon, and firearm traded. Takes up 1 hand slot, uses 2 ammo. Action, spend 1 ammo to fight. You get +1 and deal +1. Tension, after you successfully attack and exhaust an enemy with the above action. At the start of the round, it replenishes an ammo.
Yeah. Until that, 3 cost for 2 ammo for a +1 hit to +1 and +1 damage. That's not great, but now that it replenishes, that's not bad.
Yeah, once you get it to start replenishing, it's not terrible. It at least uh is gonna be there to deal some damage. It won't it eh, it's still only okay, right?
It at least justifies its cost. Like,
Yeah.
if you only need like a bullet a round, or you're okay with it replenishing to 2 bullets because you only need to attack every so often, it's fine. It's a solid thing for what it does.
Yeah, it's there to help you solve enemies. It's not there to be your main way of dealing with enemies.
Exactly.
The level 3 version gives you an additional ammo, and it gives you +2 to the attack, still with the damage, and everything else stays the same.
That's not bad. The +1 strength is the main reason I really like the upgrade,
It still
because
seems like a lot for the upgrade. Like
it
one
is
more
a lot for
use,
the
and
upgrade.
I would have liked to have the attention ability reduced somehow, or have it like replenish up to 2 ammo or
Yeah.
something like that.
I wish this was 2 XP. This feels better at 2 XP for balance.
I agree with you.
Um, but I will say, having played somebody who needs to kill things every so often and had 3 strength to start, that +2 is very nice.
I don't disagree with that. I bet it is. It's mostly just that I just feel like level 3 is a little too high.
Yeah, it's a little overcosted XP wise for what it is.
Yeah.
All right, now we have the deck of trick cards. 2 cost asset accessory item charm illicit. Sorry, Preston can't take it.
For the best.
Commits commits 4 an intellect. You can exhaust as a free trigger the deck of trick cards to look at the bottom card of your deck. You may pay 1 resource to draw that card. So it's kind of like the Scroll of Secrets.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's just expensive. Tension. If you have 8 or more cards in your hand, you will trigger the tension ability, and then the deck of tricks gains free trigger, shuffle your deck. Limit once per round on the shuffle. So once per round, you can exhaust the deck of trick cards to look at the bottom card of your deck, and you may spend 1 to draw that card. And then if you don't like what's on the bottom of your deck, once you've satisfied the tension trigger, you can then just shuffle your deck to hopefully find something better at the bottom of your deck.
Yeah. As someone who is playing this in our Matter of Britain, it is actually this is a good card. Like, it's just a good card draw engine uh, in Rogue, quite honestly.
Yeah. Which rogues are bad at, generally.
Yeah, and I mean, it only draws one, and I have to pay for the card each time, so it's not like nothing. It's not like I'm just getting free cards.
Yeah.
But like, I get to know the card I'm drawing. So like, if I don't like, if on one round, if for nothing else, it effectively is like having another card in hand, so I can plan out, uh, knowing that it's there. I don't need to have the 8 or more cards, but like if I'm using it all the time, because I am in Rogue, so I'm gonna have money,
Especially as Tony Morgan.
especially as Tony Morgan in the particular campaign. So I'm always kind of using it. And the particular Tony Morgan deck wants to like hold cards as well. So like it ends up being particularly good in the deck I'm running. But it's just nice. Like if I know that a certain card's there, I can like hold on to it. It's safe. Like the game can't take it away from me, so I can like find it and use it when I need
There
it.
was the fun instance where you had a weakness at the bottom of your deck, and then I'm just like, hey, I can scroll a secret set for you
Yeah,
because that was clogging you up.
yeah. Once it could like, or like you get to see that it's there, and you're like, well, I know that my weakness is there, and I don't need to draw cards right now, so I'm fine.
Yeah,
It'll just
that's
sit
also
there.
not bad information.
Um, and so we could say it, there's a level 1 version as well that just changes the tension to having 6 or more cards in hand, which
Way
is
more
nice.
manageable.
It's just nice to get that tension trigger a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And it adds a foot to commit it, but honestly, I barely ever look at skill icons that unless they double up or add a wild. But yeah, it's a good card. It seems like you read it and you're like, oh, that's neat, and you're like, oh, well, this is actually just a good draw engine.
Yeah.
It just costs you a lot of money.
Which is fine.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like it's going to cost you a lot of money. But I bet you I have paid 10 resources to this card, including its play cost, in a couple
Yeah.
of the scenarios.
All right.
Okay, our next
Next
one.
up is after
Yeah.
you.
Yes, the next one here is the disappearing coins. One cost asset, arcane. Or, so it's ritual and illicit traded once again. Preston can't use it.
For
Takes
the
up the
best.
yep takes up the arcane slot. Uses one charge. Charges on disappearing coins may be spent to pay for assets and events. Reaction: after an investigator at your location spends 3 or more resources at once, you add one charge to disappearing coins. And then tension: you spend 4 more resources at once, you reduce the resource requirement of the above ability to 2.
Both of us have played with this.
Oh, you did? Did you play with this in Natalie?
Yep.
Oh my god, that must have been nuts.
It's the so this card does a lot of things very interesting. The tension effect is not that hard to get, and so it just becomes reaction after an investigator at your location spends 1 or more resources, add one charge to disappearing coins. And since charges on disappearing coins can be spent to pay for assets and events, in a deck that is predominantly asset focused, it just means that I spend one on something, I now bank one for future paying. My I like that. I like that shenanigans. My issue is when you have two of these out. I think this should be limit one or unique or something. Because two out at once, I think, is just too much shenanigans. Because then you're spending one to get two charges between both of your disappearing coins, which can then you're now actually making money as opposed to drip feeding an even.
So I agree with you, only if you get them both out and trigger the tension on them both. If you have
Yes,
to, speaking of someone who played this in an Iron Man scenario, it is tricky. Like if you get one out and you get it out there, it works fine. It is a nice little piece. When you get both of them out, it is hard to make sure you get the tension out on both of them, unless you're either triggering them both at once or you plan for it, because you have to spend it at once. You can't. It's not like during one turn. It is in one spend. You have to spend four
sure.
more resources. But yes, I agree with you with what you said on that. It is kind of a you get to start really making it an actual economy engine, especially with the upgraded version.
Yeah.
Which, just so we can read it, starts with 3 charges, and that's it. That's
AKA $3.
yeah, and it reduces its cost by 1, so it's free, and it's effectively an emergency cache only for assets and events. But then also drip feeds you money,
Yep.
but only to play assets and events, and you have to spend real money to like charge it. So like, it's
Yeah.
still the dance is real. You have to
The
like
dance is real. It just felt like cheating when I'd be like, oh, I'm going to fast play my art student, spending $1 and 1 charge off of a disappearing coins to then put 2 charges among my 2 disappearing coins.
yes, yeah, that's what I was doing all the time in our Iron Man 2 was like you just end up with so many charges on your level disappearing coins that you just start using them.
And actually, this might be like the clincher on like why I think it should be limit 1 is it's after any investigator at your location.
To be fair, I think that's the real thing. I think it should have just been you.
Sure.
Like if it was just you, I think this card has no problems.
Yeah, as is, it's just it's definitely real good to the point where I'm like self tabooing it to like limit 1 or just yourself or something. Like it as is, it's just a little too good in my opinion.
It probably is. It still only works. It's still not real money, and that
Yeah,
is a problem that you'll run into, and you still need to get it early, so like you don't always get it.
but it's also kind of nice that it's not real money
Yes and
because
no.
it can't be targeted.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Like, it does mean that if something happens to your disappearing coins, that's a problem.
Sure. And
Like I said,
I was not above chucking my disappearing coins at enemies using Alma.
yeah. Like I said, it is just a particular thought. Like it is fine. It is a nice economy piece, but it's still just an economy piece that you can't use that doesn't actually win you the game. Like
Yeah.
it is effectively just giving you money to play other cards as you are playing cards.
Yeah. Which in an asset or event focused deck is very good.
Well, in a deck that is planning on constantly playing cards, right? That's
Yeah.
the way you want to think about it. Like there are plenty of decks that just set themselves up and then just go burr and win the game, right? That's probably
Yeah.
that's the easiest and most efficient way to win Arkham. Disappearing coins is for people like me who want to just do dumb things.
Next up is the Hickory Cane. It is a 3-cost asset, takes up a hand slot, it is item, weapon, and melee traded. It commits for a strength. As an action, you can exhaust Hickory Cane to fight. You get +1 strength for every 5 resources in your resource pool to a maximum of +3. This attack deals +1 damage. That means as Preston, you could be fighting at 4.
Yeah.
Tension. If you have 15 resources in your resource pool, you will have activated the tension ability, which means you get +1 strength for the above ability for every 4 resources instead. I would imagine still to a max of +3.
Yes. Just replaces the 5 with a 4.
It's for level 0, it's fine.
It's fine. Like
It exhausts.
it exhausts. That's its main limiter, and that's fine. Like it's a good little emergency hit.
Yep. It
It's
does
an
do
extra weapon.
+1 damage.
It does. It's 2. Like it's not nothing, right? And like you'll have that bonus. It is a scaling bonus too. Getting up to +3 is not impossible for most rogues.
Yeah.
So and then doing that just gets you the trigger, so you're going to be able to then have it for every 4. It's fine.
Yep. The
Um,
upgraded cane, if you're ready to move on to it,
yeah, sure am.
1 XP, it is now 2 cost. So that's the
Mhm.
first. There are a number of little things that have changed. First off, it is now 2 cost instead of 3.
Mhm.
It gains a will icon instead of just having a strength. It's now will and strength. It exhausts to fight. You get +1 strength for every 5 resources in your resource pool. Full
Uncapped.
stop.
Yep.
Uncapped, full stop. This attack deals +1 damage, and then it has the same tension ability for every 4. This, I am of two minds about this.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a once per round exhaust to fight for 2 damage,
Mm-hmm.
which is good, but also has its inherent balance to it. But it's now uncapped. So, like, I'm split between this being fine. It's a lot of bonuses, a lot of little bonuses between the level 0 version and level 1 version to make me go, maybe this should have been level 2, but also it can't go that crazy as is. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
like
I'm okay with it at level 1.
that's the thing for me is like, eh, how much is it really gonna get more than like +3 anyway for most people? Like,
Sure.
are they gonna get it up to +4? Like with
I
the
mean,
tension ability triggered, like they'll get it up to that much, pretty much.
with your standard Preston deck, you're operating usually at 20 minimum money in your resource pool.
That's true,
So
but
that
like
means that you would be
that's
getting +5 to hit.
yeah. But my question is that is this better than just me using small favor? Like, what am I getting by playing this?
Uh,
I
you
guess,
can fight without triggering attack of opportunity.
yeah, that's fair. It's
I
not,
see your point. I'm just
yeah, like it's fine. Like, is the thing I would like put this at. Like, it is a good weapon. It once again exhausts, so like you have to have something else,
yeah.
or like be ready to like have a way to ready this or have something, right? Like, because it's not gonna. It might solve an enemy. It probably won't.
So it is interesting. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off your thought.
That's more or less it. Like, it's here. It's gonna do something, and you're gonna be able to hit. It's gonna be a good
Yes.
enabler of over success because of the sheer amount of bonus that you're gonna get.
Yeah. It is interesting that subsequent to the Hickory cane coming out, the polished cane
Yes.
came out in Andre Patel's deck. It is also a 3 cost cane. It is a fight using strength, and you add your agility to this. If you succeed by 2 or more against a non-elite enemy, you can exhaust the cane to also evade that enemy.
Mhm.
So it's neat.
I like the idea of
Sorry,
being
one moment.
of being a cane rogue though, just walking around with 4 canes.
Yeah. I mean, also, if you wanted to, you could play Charlie Kane and take Rogue as your access and
And
play
just be five
Canes.
cane and be 5 cane Charlie. Yeah.
I don't know how you're getting the extra hand slots yet, but yeah.
Oh, no, you just have 5 canes. You are one of them.
Yes. All right. Here, I'll toss you the next card, but it's kind of sharp.
Our last rogue asset is the throwing knife. A three cost asset, item, weapon, and ranged. Takes up a hand slot. As an action, you can exhaust throwing knife to fight. This attack uses foot instead of agility, instead of fist. If you succeed by 2 or more, this attack deals 2 damage. Deals +1 damage.
Okay.
Tension, you deal damage in excess of an enemy's remaining health via the above action ability. And the above action ability then adds your foot instead of your fist, instead of replacing it.
So I thought about putting this in my Natalie deck. The trick was the ability to succeed by 2 or more in that deck for me, since I had to do a bit of everything, was just very difficult for me.
Yes. I think this is a
Uh,
fun rogue weapon.
yeah.
Once again, the exhausting it is the tricky part, but this one, if you are just committed to having both of your hands using throwing knives, isn't bad. Simply
No.
because the ability to have your foot added to your fist means that you're probably just testing at a 7 most of the time, and that's
So
pretty good.
so I was going to use skids as my example, but I could also just use, uh, Lai?
Lige,
Lai?
yeah, yep.
Lai. Sorry, I am terrible at pronouncing names. I'm terrible at pronouncing words. The the thing with it is like, oh yeah, this lets him use his agility. Great. He likes that. He's better at it, arguably, and it's easier for him to boost it. But then his strength isn't bad either. So now the addition actually really helps him,
Hmm.
especially for that succeed by 2 or more. Like, I think this is a really nice weapon, and I like that it's a weapon that rewards you for succeeding by 2 or more without making it too good for Tony or Michael McGlenn.
Yeah. Uh,
Because they don't. Michael's not bad with this. Tony does not like this very much.
no, the 2 foot only like because it's not a choice whether or not you replace it. You have to
Yep.
replace.
I mean,
So
Michael doesn't love this either, but like he could theoretically do it.
yeah, but like if you're gonna use it, you're gonna plan on it.
Yeah.
So uh, and you just want to make sure you can deal damage in excess, which is not easy, but not impossible.
No.
And the upgraded version makes it fast.
I think that's the only real difference is that it's 2
Yep.
XP
And you have to succeed by
fast.
1 or more to get the plus damage.
There we go. And it has a strength icon. That's not nothing.
It's not nothing, but I'm gonna be trying to play these. That's always how this will go. Like
Yeah.
if you're playing throwing knives, you're gonna be trying to play both of them
I
because you
I
want both of
do
them.
like throwing knives both at level 0 and at level 2. Even for splashing, I think it's an interesting choice of weapon.
Yeah, I do think it's a good. I do wish, man. I kind of wish that it did what the bullseye air pistol does, and like you get replenishing ammo on it,
Sure.
something like that. Like it had some of that kind of mechanic or something, but that's just me like wishing that I could use this more than once in a turn.
Yeah. I think much like the air pistol, it's not supposed to be your go-to necessarily.
Yeah, it's just that there isn't a go-to weapon in this whole set, so it's just kind of a.
Oh, that's fair.
It's
Because
kind of like you need to
everything,
have a little bit of. You need to just like pick 2 of these weapons and have them in, and like that's your plan if that's what you're trying to do. But that's rogue for
yeah,
you, right? That's just rogue.
yeah. Moving on to the events, we have Step Right Up. It's a gambit and trick traded event. Commits for a will and an intellect. Fast, play during your turn, attach Step Right Up to your location. Oh, we have an attachment effects. Always love those. The first successful skill test performed by each investigator at this location each round succeeds by 1 more. Alright. Tension. A test at this location succeeds by 6 or more. So what would normally have been 5 or more is what you need here. And then Step Right Up gains free trigger, discard Step Right Up. Each investigator at the attached location gains 2 resources. This is niche.
Yep, I am playing it in my Tony Bargain deck that I am playing in Matter of Britain.
It's not bad. It's
No,
just very niche because most effects don't care about how much you succeed by.
it's true. I mostly like it for a couple of other effects that exist as well. Um, that let me that do care because I'm eventually going to be working with Opportunist and a couple of other cards. So having
Sure.
this on key locations gives some easier things for that. And playing with Switchblade means that I only ever have to succeed by one to make sure I get
Yep.
the extra damage. So it just allows it makes some easier things, and then eventually I'll succeed by six or more. It just will happen in that deck. Like, so it just means that I can at any point just go whoop and then give everyone $2.
Yeah. Key point that I missed out on. It is the level 0 version is the first successful skill test performed by each
Mm,
investigator. Is succeeds by one more, as opposed to the level 2 version, which is
which
still
is
one cost and gains an intellect icon. But it's each successful skill test at this location each round succeeds by one more. It still has the tension of 6 or more for it to be 2 resources upon discard. So it's mostly the same, but it's now every test.
mhm.
Which for Tony is not bad at all,
Yeah,
actually.
and they can go on, and more than one can go on a location.
This is true.
So
Um, but yeah, it's in your instance totally. As I said, it's a niche card. In your instance, it's actually quite good.
mhm.
But there are not many decks that I would look at this. But for the decks I would, it is very good for what it is. It also helps with Gregory Gry. Well, any of the succeed by effects, but like
Yeah,
ones I typically play are like Watch This and Gregory Gry.
yeah. Like those honestly are kind of enough. Like
Yeah.
as long as you know that it's there and like you don't need them all the time. You just need to know when you're using it. That's how all these succeed by X works. So like you just plan around it, and it's a nice little support piece, and it helps other people too.
Yeah.
So
As long as you know you're going to be there for a hot minute.
yep, and I mean like I mostly just do it on locations where I know I'm going to either where I've gathered enemies or they're gathering, and I can just start taking things out.
Stab, stab, stab.
Yep, just take my knife and go a stabbing. Our next one here is Acrobatic Flourish, which is a one-cost event, Gambit and Trick Traded. Commits for a fist and a foot. Fast, play when you would reveal a token from the Chaos Bag during a skill test. Reveal an additional token for this test. If you succeed, deal 2 damage to an enemy at your location.
This is kind of reminding me of Silence Please, where it's just like you're changing the conditions of the test for benefit.
This one, though, you get to just keep. You get to do all your tricks. You just have to take on the extra risk.
Yeah. You get extra
Um,
risk, but you do 2 damage. I don't mind that.
no, I'm playing this in the Tony Morgan deck too.
Yep.
It has saved my bacon for some extra damage when I know I'm already going in hard on something.
Yep.
So I just like, oh, I'll just take the extra hit, and I don't have to succeed by a certain amount. I just have to succeed. So like, I'm guaranteed to get 2 extra damage
Mm-hmm.
if I know I'm already high up. You just have to know your bag. And the
Yep.
upgraded version,
Well, also it helps that you're playing with a Sister Mary who's keeping that bag very well stocked.
hold on, like yes, but like there is all that. But like this is a deck I would play. Like I am also putting blesses in the bag, but I would play
Sure.
this without all of that as well, as long as you know what your bag is and and how high your test is going.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
As long as the numbers are right.
as long as the numbers are good, right? Like this is something I would consider in a Preston thing too for a weird flex if I wanted this instead of like small favor. So like just while I do a different test, I can like play this and double it or something. Because I'm already
Yeah.
gonna be testing at like a 12. So like
Yeah.
what's 2 more tokens? And then the upgraded version doesn't change anything. It just changes the payout, which is you get to deal 2 damage to up to 2 enemies at your location. So you can hit another person, and it also commits for an extra fist.
Yeah, 2 XP gets you a fist unless you do 2 damage to a second target.
Yeah, which is fine.
That's pretty good. It's not fancy, but it's good.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is Balancing Act. It is a zero-cost event, tactic and trick traded. It's for a will and an agility. Fast play during your turn. Put Balancing Act into play in your play area. Attach any number of assets you control to Balancing Act. Each attached asset takes up no slots, and its text box is treated as if it were blank except for traits. Forced at the end of the round, move each asset attached to Balancing Act back to your play area. Discard Balancing Act.
Did you play this in Natalie?
I did not. Mostly because the strategy that I was going with was I wanted to put things into my slots and keep things in my slots. That way, all subsequent things that I played would just be fast.
Yeah, I just figured you would play this at like the end of your turn or something to then keep a whole bunch of things for the next round.
Yeah, I didn't do that, and I don't know why I didn't do that. This seems pretty good for that purpose.
Yeah, it's just interesting.
I'm trying to think of
Because
use cases outside of.
that's what I was just trying to think about. Like, what would outside of Natalie, what would I ever use this for? Like, it would let me play like. What would it let me do? What would it let me keep and then play other cards and then discard them and like because when for other people when the other cards come back you have to discard down to
You
your
discard
appropriate slots.
immediately.
So what would be the benefit of not having to do that?
I
I know one thing I would do with this card.
sure.
You could use it to cheat Gesh for a turn.
Oh, yeah, you could.
And if you had any other cards that did something like that, you could cheat your like cards that are like limiting you in a way. For a
Let's
turn.
take a look at
It works
the
for
upgraded
permanent.
one. It I don't know if it does. I don't know if they updated permanents as they can't be attached to other things now. I don't think permanents can be attached to things.
Okay, that would make sense then.
Okay, let's take a look at the upgraded one. Maybe this will give us a little bit more insight.
Hmm.
Balancing Act level 1, tactic and trick traded still. It still commits for a will and agility. Still fast play during your turn. Attach any number of assets you control to it. The only thing that changed is the force effect. So force at the end of the round, move each asset attached to Balancing Act back into your play area. Discard Balancing Act. You may immediately trigger an action ability on one of the moved assets.
So you get a free trigger on one of the actions.
Which I at least get. I get that. I don't understand Balancing Act. I get the upgraded one. It's effectively like getting a free action at the end of the round, which is fine depending on what weird shenanigans you're using for it.
It's definitely weird, and I don't know what you would do it for because you can't like. I just don't know. I this is something someone's gonna have to like do something and show me. Like I need to see it. Like I feel that this is such a weird effect. I feel like something should be able to be done with this.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing what it is.
Yeah. Um. It's in your play area. I can't think about it. There's something. There's got to be something. I don't know what it is just yet, though.
We'll think on it.
It'll have to stew. It'll have to stew. There's got to be something. It's weird enough that there's got to be some weird corner case that's useful. Um. Our next card is called Dazzling Spectacle, a 5-cost event that is Gambit and Trick traded. Fast, play after you succeed at a skill test. Dazzling Spectacle gets -1 cost for each non-weakness card committed to that test. And then you discover 2 clues from your location.
Watches the impossible becomes possible. That's very good for team environment. If
Yeah.
everyone's committing in on a test, it's also good for the acrobat because he's gets basically a free commit to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's effectively just a way to do that, and you can get this down to like if you get this down to 3, right? You're probably gonna find a way to succeed at a test, and you just get 2 clues, write it onto it for for some dollars. That's
Yeah,
not
it's not
terrible.
bad.
It's a little expensive, but it's effectively 2 testless clues.
I mean, ideally, you're only going to play this if you've committed at least 2 cards to a test, so it's effectively fast 3 cost after you succeed a skill test, discover 2 clues, which
Yeah,
a little expensive, but you're rogue.
yeah. So it's probably good. And those other skill cards are probably giving like for because you're probably doing this in lie. You're probably gonna get extra effects out of those skill cards.
Yep.
So there's that. There's a level 1 version, which changes the foot to a wild. Um, it reduces its cost by 1, and that's it.
That seems fine.
For a level 1 card, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Again, it's a little like assuming you've got 2 skills put into it, it's a 2 cost fast discover 2 clues. That's not
Like that
bad.
that's a pretty solid card. Like if we're talking about that, that's a pretty solid card.
And like I know we've commented on this a couple of times, but it's like I don't mind the level 0 ones being obtuse. Like I actually prefer it obviously that way, but
Yeah.
like the level 0 ones for compared to like the level 1s generally have been like, yeah, it's just a more unwieldy version, which is exactly how you want it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Grand Finale is next. It is a 7 cost event, Gambit and Faded traded, so you're ending your turn after this. Grand Finale gets -1 cost for each other action that you have taken this round.
Not perform.
So,
So you don't have to actually spend the actions, right? Is this how this
yeah,
works?
for each other action you have taken this round. Yeah, I guess, yeah. So at minimum, this is actually 5 cost.
Yes.
Like, this is actually 5 cost if you're playing it as your last action on, and you have spent 2 actions already.
Which you should.
Fight or investigate. Add your agility to your skill value for this test. If you succeed while fighting, this attack deals +3 damage. If you succeed while investigating, you discover 2 additional clues if it is your turn. End your turn.
I believe I thought
Uh,
about putting this uh in my Tony deck, but I can't do my shenanigans with it, and
yes,
it's also not a spell. So I kind of
yes,
decided,
dear listener, Nick has built a spellcasting Tony Morgan deck. You can figure it out.
yeah.
Um,
So it's fun. It's very similar to what I'd like want to do with it. Uh, but I just can't. I can't double this.
no, because
It's
I
faded.
guess you can't double faded cards.
You can't.
Yeah. Let's see what the upgrade does, though.
Level
The
3.
upgrade for 3 XP, it goes to 6 cost. So assuming you're playing this third action, it's now 4 cost to play. Still gets because it still gets -1 cost for each other action you've taken this round. It gets a wild icon in addition to the intellect and strength. And still fight or investigate. If you succeed by 2 or more, draw 2 cards. If you succeed while fighting, it does +3 damage. If you succeed while investigating, discover 2 additional clues. If it's your turn, end your turn. So it's cheaper, gets a wild icon, and draws you cards if you succeed by enough.
I wonder if there's a way to make this fast and play it on other people's turns.
Uh, I don't know a way to make it fast, but you could quick thinking and play it on other people's turns.
Hmm. Now that's a thought.
Swift
As long as I
reflexes.
went
Does
first.
swift reflexes also work like that?
If I go first, before
Swift
that, let me do that.
reflexes. A fast play during any investigator's turn except during an action. So if you're willing to put a 2 cost. So the other problem is if you play it during somebody else's turn, you won't get the discount on it.
No, as long as you went before them for your turn.
Oh, I guess you're right. You are correct. But yes, you could swift reflexes this or quick thinking action this on other people's turns, theoretically.
Okay, that's neat. That's an idea I had not thought about before, of playing faded cards on other people's turns.
Yeah.
It's neat. That's all I was trying to get at, I guess. Had not considered. So the real thing this does is reduce the main cost by 1, and then if you succeed by 2 or more, you get to draw 2 cards.
Yep.
It's
Make it
fine.
Yeah, for 3 XP it's fine. I think it's mostly 3 XP to get it out of other people's hands.
Yeah, probably. I I have a love-hate relationship with faded cards. I love the idea of them, but they're very hard for me to play.
Yeah. Yep.
And you can't have too many of them in the deck. So like you need to like you don't have a couple of them and you need to be able to find it's there's only so much I can play with them and I have a hard time with them sometimes. This one though is something that I think is quite good because I just think the payoff for it is good. My next one is High Flying. My next event. 0 cost. It's Gambit traded. For a will and a foot. Fast, after you succeed at a skill test by 3 or more, repeat the effects of a skill committed to that test.
It's a controlled double-double. I like it.
Yep. I
Don't
have
don't
no.
know what else to say.
It's hard to say. It's like it's a fair card. I like you have to have the skill in there. You get to double it. Um, it's fun. It's cool. It's you get to just do all that, and the level 1 version just reduces that 3 by more to 2 or more.
Risking the lowest of lows to achieve the highest of highs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I No real issue with it.
Yeah, no issue. It's a fun combo card that lets you like combo off on a skill.
Mm-hmm. Next up is Leap of Faith, Gambit, and Trick Traded. Move an investigator, so commits for a will and agility. Move an investigator from a connecting location to your location. So this is inherently a multiplayer card.
Mhm.
The next time this round that you commit a card to a test the chosen investigator is performing, that card gains a wild. It's kind of like an inverse shortcut.
Yeah, it's
Kinda.
interesting. Like it helps you move someone else out, right?
Ah, yes.
So if someone needs to get out of somewhere or like doesn't want to take an attack opportunity, it's good for that. And for lie in particular, if you move them onto a spot with your skill that they're gonna want to be doing something with, they get an
Mm-hmm.
extra wild as well.
Yeah. That's neat.
Yeah, it's neat, right? This is one of those like niche cards that's just kind of a neat card. Like every now and then this will be useful. Um,
The upgraded version it's level 3, gains a wild.
oh,
Move an investigator from a connecting location to your location. You may engage any number of enemies engaged with the chosen investigator. The next time this round that you would commit a skill card to a test the chosen investigator is performing, that card gains 2 wilds, and this action does not provoke attacks of opportunity.
There you go. So now the level 3 version does a lot. Like
That does a lot.
you get to
It
move
just
them,
brings it all on
you
you.
take you get to take it all, you get that, and if you had a bunch of enemies, you still get to like save people.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot in one card.
Mm-hmm. If I had any complaints about this, it's too self-sacrificial. This is like a guardian card,
This
not a rogue card.
I was just kind of thinking that, like, man, this is such a blue feeling card for Rogue.
So, and it feels like not really a leap of faith because like there's no like gamble to it.
Yeah.
So, it's neat. I think it's mostly around for the effect for lie, but like I don't know. It like I said, it doesn't feel like a rogue card to me.
I mean, I could also see this in red.
Yeah, I could see that too. Like I said, it just doesn't feel like a rogue card.
Yeah,
It's,
I concur.
but otherwise, the effect is fine.
Yeah.
Running start is our next one. One cost, tactic and trick traded. It's for a fist and a foot. Fight or evade. If you have moved or been moved at least once this round, you get +1 skill value for this test, and if you succeed, deal 1 damage to the target enemy.
Huh. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's
And
neat.
lands in a basin of water.
It's neat. I guess is all I have to say. The
It's a
upgraded we just
fine, yeah, it's a fine level 0 fight
it's
or evade.
it's a
Sorry.
I mean it's a fight evade that does 2 damage with a plus value. It's a evade
It's
that can deal the
a,
damage.
yeah, it's a fight for 2 or evade for 1. Yeah, it's not bad
It's
for a
not
level
bad.
0 card.
Yeah. The upgraded version is level 2, adds a foot. Fight or evade, this ability may target an enemy at a connecting location. If you do immediately move to that location and engage that enemy, and then if you have moved or been moved at least once this round, you get +2 value for the test, and if you succeed, deal 2 damage to the target enemy. Okay, well now this is just a kill. Like this is you get to like this thing works on its own and can just kill an enemy.
Yes.
And actually gives you a running start. Like you literally like run to them and like do something.
Yep. Again, this feels kind of Guardian or kind of Survivor.
It does, but at least it has the rogue flair to it with moving
Yes.
and doing and having some like evading and other shenanigans with it. So this one is just a fun little rogue like fight event.
Yeah. I mean, also just inherently, you have like the rogue of this set is more of a supporty rogue.
Yeah,
So inherently, some of this is going to feel a little more supportive than rogue usually does.
I agree with you.
All right. Smoke bomb, level 0. I'm sorry. Running star just tickled me. Smoke bomb, level 0. 0 cost, tactic, trick. Mark can take it. There, got that in. Commits for a strength and agility. Fast, play during your turn, attach smoke bomb to your location. Investigators get +1 skill value while evading at the attached location. Forced at the end of the round, discard smoke bomb. Let's hope the wind doesn't pick up.
I love it. Smoke bomb. Just like
Yeah, it's not flashy, but it
no,
doesn't need to be.
nope. But it's
The
there. It's fine. It works.
It
It gives
works
+1
for
to everyone,
everybody.
and for each
Yeah.
and for each evade. So it's not just once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
The
level
up
3 version. What does that do?
gets a wild, still 0 cost. Investigators get +2 skill value while evading, and +1 skill value while fighting.
Okay.
And it still discards itself at the end of the round. I don't
I don't think I'd ever play this.
For 3 XP, I don't love it. For 2 XP, maybe,
I
but I
just
just
don't think, and I don't even think the level 0 version is really worth it.
okay. Do you want to unpack that?
How do I put it? So I say that, and I may take it back. It's not. It maybe isn't bad for lie because you can probably do some nonsense with like what's the card? What's the card that lets you pull back cards that you've attached from a location? Survival.
Um, I know survival techniques
Yes. Like,
or survival training, survival technique. Fast, choose a card you own that is attached to your location and exhaust survival technique. Add that card to your hand. So that lets you reuse smoke bomb.
yeah.
That's not bad.
Like in that case, maybe it's not bad because it's free. So like you can just like plop it down again if you have nothing else to like pull back. Um it's just such like the benefit is just so marginal that like for a card I would prefer to have a little bit more to it, a little more meat on
So,
the bone.
sure. Something to consider that I'm now more appreciating is that Lie's ability requires you to choose a non weakness skill in your hand. You can't just
Yes.
use anything.
Right.
So if I had to choose between another skill card or smoke bomb, I'm probably going to choose a skill card because it's going to be more useful to me and my ability to be able to commit it to things and use my normal ability than the smoke bomb. But like as is, I think smoke bomb isn't a bad choice. Like I can definitely see applications for it. For like Trish is an easy choice for like some application.
Yeah, but I guess my question is, what are you not taking for smoke bomb?
Sure.
Like that. This is just my question, right? Like, don't get me wrong. You're talking to the guy that likes attaching cards to locations and making fun, favorable terrain for everyone. But like,
Hmm.
I'm the rogue. If I can't evade it, like if a creature is evaded, it's evaded. Like, I don't
Sure.
unless there's a million things that need to be evaded and everyone needs to do it. Like,
I mean, there's
then we're in such a bad way that then that's when smoke bomb gets useful.
so I see your point. My best use case scenario for this is you're kind of off in a corner as a rogue. I'm dealing with a problem. Let's say I'm like a seeker, and you can make it to me, but you can't spend the actions to like grab it and evade it or something. So you make it over to me and you just drop the smoke bomb to make it so I can evade it easier.
Yeah, but for all that effort, I give you +1 skill value, and then I can be there to commit a card.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's a great use case. I'm saying that's the best use case I've thus far come up with.
That's what I mean, right? That's what I've been trying to say. Like, I just think the benefit is so marginal that I don't know how useful that is, and I think that the level 3 version is just too high level
Yeah, I
to
don't
really
know.
matter.
Uh, yeah, for 3 XP, it's like the bonus is nice, but it's just not doing me anything. Like you'd have to be using survival technique for me to care.
And that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, to me, like the upgraded smoke bomb could have been level 1, and I still don't know if it's good enough.
Sure.
I could be wrong. I don't want to say that, but like, because like there's things. right? But like it's for a non-repeatable card that you can't like use anything for. Like Smoke Monk to me would have been better out as almost like an asset that had uses
Yeah,
and that gave everyone a benefit or something like that. But like
sure.
that's just me. Okay. Well, since we have a skill-focused rogue, let's get to their skills that are in the set. Our first one is Contortion. Hey, look, it's another level 0 practiced expert card.
Ah,
It commits for 2 fists and 2 foot. If
sorry.
you move to a location with an enemy this round, Contortion gains a fist. If you revealed or put a location into play this round, it gains a foot.
Much like the Seeker equivalent, and I think I'm remembering that this was like a set. Yeah, this is fine. It's a bunch of icons with some contingent icons, and if that's what you're looking for, it's great. But oh my goodness, or if all these are practiced, it's so good in Amanda.
Yeah, it does look like this is going to be a cycle throughout the classes because it's very
Yep.
similar to the previous one, where the level 1 version also has its triggers and then it changes things for wilds and gives you the other 2 skills that aren't already listed based on
Yeah.
the things. So
Copy
it's
paste comments.
yeah, it's going to be copy paste there. It's going to mostly depend on the triggers, I think, for how good these are. Um,
Yeah.
and this one is fine. That's
I
all I can
I
really
don't
say.
so speaking of so copy paste my comments generally. So if you move to a location with an enemy this round, it gains strength. Okay. If you revealed or put a location into play this round, it gives you will and agility. I don't see how that is helping me. Because if I revealed a location or put a location into play this round as a general rogue, what the heck am I using will or agility for in that instance?
Hey, I agree with you. I have no idea.
Like, fine, there's a use case for like, oh, I've got off class mystic or I'm main class mystic, off class rogue, and therefore I move and then use my intellect or my will spell. Fine, I get that. But like standard issue rogue, Trish, I know Trish has been kind of my go-to rogue recently. Standard issue rogue. What is Trish doing with will or agility icons when she just moved to a location that presumably does not have an enemy there?
I agree with you. To me, I would have switched where the will and the book icons are, personally.
Yeah, 100%.
It just makes more sense generally. But
Yeah, because if you move to a new location, you want to be able to investigate.
yeah, that would be typically what I would expect. But that's just what they are, so here we are.
Yep.
I generally think it's
That's,
fine. I think the triggers are not as good as
yeah,
the Seeker
as
one.
the. Yep.
So in general, this is fine. And that's all I'm really
Yep.
can really say. It's a fine card. It is what it is.
Also,
In
we've been
Lie,
doing
it's
this
probably
for
not
like.
bad because you can kind of uh put this on a location, and if there's enemies there, you can like know like
Sure.
all those things. And I'm not saying that there's anything better about it, but like you'll know like I guess with contortion like what you're doing with it. So there's that.
Sure. Also, dear listener, we've been doing this for like 3 hours, so we might be a little more punchy than we normally are.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, and I'm normally harsher on rogue cards in general
Sure. We have
because
two
they
more to
have
go for
such a
tonight.
history. They have such a history of being bad.
All over the place.
Yeah. Um,
Uh, Next up is Escalation. It is a Gambit skill. You may commit escalation to any. It has no icons. You may commit escalation to any type of test you are performing. So this doesn't work with Lie because he can't commit it to other people's tests generally. Like he can still attach it to a location and commit it to his instance at
hmm.
that location, but not other people's.
Unfortunately.
Increase the difficulty of this test by 1. If you succeed, draw 1 card and gain 1 resource. If you succeed by 2 or more, draw an additional card or gain an additional resource.
I actually like this card.
So, if I'm reading this correctly, if you succeed by... So increase the difficulty of 1. If you succeed, you will either draw a card or gain a resource. And then if you succeed by 2 or more, you are either drawing 2 cards or getting 2 resources. You cannot mix them because it is an additional card or it is an additional resource,
No,
indicating to me that you...
It's 2 cards and 2 resources.
I put ors where there were ands. You are correct.
Yep.
Never mind. This is... Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty good.
This is just
for
a good
level
card.
0 card. You're making it more difficult, but you're getting a free upkeep out of it, potentially 2 free upkeeps out of it. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's just a good card.
Okay, what's the level 2 version do? Still no icons. Can still be committed to any test that you are performing. Increase the difficulty of this test by 1 if you succeed. Draw a card and gain a resource. Draw an additional card and an additional resource for every 2 points you succeeded by. Oh,
Neat.
that's
neat.
really good. That's really good.
Huh.
like fine. There's a chance you would fail, of course. But like if you're putting a bunch of money into a test to make sure it succeeds, increasing the difficulty by 1 doesn't change that much, and then you can make some of that money or cards you committed back.
Neat.
This is quite good.
Huh. This actually might be a skill card that would go into my Preston deck. I don't play with skill cards in it that much, but this one could. One's the one little money talks, and suddenly I'm testing at like a 15.
And then for every 2 points you succeed by,
Just like draw through my deck and gain a bunch of money.
I think Escalation needs... I think the upgraded version of Escalation needs a limit.
It probably should have one. I'm just trying to think of like what like outside of what I just said, right? Where you have a stupid amount of money and like you're gonna combine it with like a money talks or something.
But like I'm thinking of like just take your Tony Morgan deck for example. You're attacking something with 2 fight, let's say.
And I can't get up to like, let's say I get up to like a 10 or a 12. That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, so you're at 5 base plus 2 with your Switchblade plus whatever else you want to throw at it for whatever you've got Lonnie out or whatever. So let's just say 10.
Yeah.
You raise it to difficulty 3, which doesn't substantively change your odds of failing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you draw a -2, which drops you to 8v3. That means you succeeded by 5 and would get 3 cards and 3 resources.
That's not bad. For a level 2 skill that could have easily that I had to like put things into.
That's not bad. I'd say that's quite good.
I would say it's good, but it's also something I'm not going to be like I won't be like unless I'm like building to like repeat like the effects of skill tests and like with like whatever the high flying card is.
Goodness, you can repeat the effects of skill tests.
Yeah.
Sorry. That there's the
high flying card.
High flying plus this is so easy because after you succeed a skill test by 2, 3 or more, or succeed a skill test by 2 or more, Escalation is too good.
Once again, you are drawing a bunch of cards, right? Which is dangerous. Like it's a lot of resources and a lot of like things, but you still gotta win the game.
I know. I'm just looking at it like I would feel way more comfortable with Escalation if it was like limit 3.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm trying to say. Like it's what it's probably gonna be most of the time.
Sure, it's the instances where it's not that I'm actually that I'm concerned about, because it's real easy for you to it's real easy for you to just be like, oh, I'm gonna super overcommit on this test to get because it's just gonna cost me a couple cards or some resources that I don't super care about. So like let's say you spend 2 additional cards or 2 additional resources. And let's even go and 2 additional resources to get that example to 14 to 3. You get a -2, which brings you to 9 up. So you will then, after committing the 2 cards and 2 resources, net net I guess you would only be netting 2 cards. Well, no, you'd be netting 3 cards and 3 resources on that
No, I'll be letting
still.
2 cards because I've committed 3 cards and I'm getting 5.
Okay, I'm talking myself down from this. It still
Like
seems real good.
like I said, unless you're combining it and having a stupid amount of money with like money talks and like well connected, where you're just like not having to do much because you are sitting on a bunch of money anyway.
Sure.
In which case, the real thing you're getting is cards because you already have a stupid amount of money.
Yeah.
So
Though
like,
every $4 you get in that example is an additional card that you'll get later on.
yeah, if you play this again,
Fair.
like that's what I'm trying to say, right? Like this is if this is like eventually when you do stuff like that, this becomes a card draw card, and like that's fine because it that means that this is just being used to draw cards
Yeah.
in a way that you could
Okay.
still just not work, and you're still doing this in a test. It's probably fine. You're not getting actions out of it.
Yeah, that's
That,
fair.
I this had like I know like that sounds crazy for me to say, but that's what broke Double or Nothing is the fact that like if you do something when you are gaining actions, you can like just take infinite turns. This
Yeah.
isn't doing that.
Fair enough.
Um, our last skill card is called Flowing Motion, which is innate and practiced. It's for a wild, max 1 committed per skill test. If this test succeeds by 2 or more, choose another skill committed to this test and commit it to your next skill test this round if able.
Neat. You're getting that doubling though. I'm just imagining this plus escalation, but escalation would make this to succeed by 2 or more much more difficult.
And once again, and then you have to still succeed again
Yep.
on the next time you used escalation.
Yep. But
And
ignoring that,
then
I do like what this is doing a lot.
it is neat. Um, and then the level 1 version of flowing motion just reduces the requirement down to succeeding by 1 or more.
Why, Nick? To quote
Yeah.
Pat, justify something that you had no hand in deciding. Why are these 2 practiced cards neither of them expert traded?
Well, because they're innate. So they can't be
You
expert.
you win this time. It's weird. Hold up. Now that I'm drawing attention to that, it's weird to have an innate and practiced card. Is that a thing?
Okay, time to look. Let's look at every single innate card.
Because I don't think there's an overlap there.
Do, do, do.
Innate curse, innate developed, because developed is the expert for innate.
Yes.
And like innate and practiced seems kind of like an oxymoron.
Yeah, I believe that that was the flavor thing that they were trying to do, but we know that those cards, those traits don't really matter right now. Oh no, it's developed. Sorry, I thought I saw an expert or practice. Sorry. How is it developed? Developed.
So now I'm going to be overly dramatically upset that this card is not both developed and expert traded. I kid. I do
He's
generally
coming for
like
you,
what
Beard. He's coming for you.
over these cards that are already finalized. Like, and nothing calls on expert or developed. So, like, it's not that big of a deal. It's just more of like
Nothing
a,
yet.
that's fair. But not, just a head scratching moment of just like, this is kind of odd. Um, so a little bit more of a mixed bag in the rogue cards. Overall, still good.
There's
I
some fun
generally
combo
like,
potential to a lot of the things.
yeah,
I I like the I like high flying and a couple of the other cards there.
yes. I like trying to take what Double or Nothing was doing and make it more playable. I
Yes.
do appreciate that. I'm going to reiterate Alma's great. You
Yeah.
already spoke of the deck of trick cards disappearing. The assets, I don't think there was a weak asset amongst them. Even the Bullseye Air Pistol, we were like, that's good for what it's doing.
There's three weapons. All three weapons are fine. The only downside is that they're not reliable.
Sure.
Like, which is kind of the thing. The most reliable one is probably the pistol because it like you can let it replenish up to like take down an enemy. But like the other's
Yeah.
exhaust. So like
Yeah.
otherwise, I in general, I think that this is a very solid rogue set with some fun. The events have a lot of crazy like little interesting little synergies. And
Yeah.
they don't
On
really all like directly work with the investigator, but the uh what lie is such a weird thing, and like I feel like a lot of his shenanigans are going to be coming from the survivor parts that he can get.
yeah. I think honestly the only cards that like to be clear, re-looking through the cards, I think the only ones that we were like we don't like the only cards that we were like unsure of or didn't particularly love were Balancing Act and Smoke Bomb.
I don't think I just don't get. I just don't
Yeah.
get what like the point is.
I have no idea what you're supposed to do with that outside of
Like
Natalie.
I get balancing act level 1. At least that way I can like visualize as like something I can do something with.
hmm
I'm just trying to figure out what balancing act 0 is for, and maybe it's just Natalie.
Yeah, I would hope that it's more than just that, but I digress. But yeah, I guess I want to check the statement of this was a mixed bag. No, it really wasn't a mixed bag. There were just like two cards that we were either confused about or didn't particularly love.
Yeah,
Everything
some of these
else
scores are a
was
little
at least
niche too.
interesting and
Yeah,
combo-y. Had its
yeah.
place.
And then
So
there's escalation, which I think is probably okay.
it's one that I'm giving a very strong side eye at.
It would probably be better if it was a level 3 card and not a level 2 card.
Yeah, I would feel more comfortable with that at that level, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
And I will reiterate this because this seemed to resonate with people. If anybody doesn't like my opinion about anything, I will still once again submit pineapple is the best topping on pizza.
It's just weird that it's that you want to put it at the top. I don't like man.
So like if that invalidates my opinion for you, I understand.
I still
Uh,
think the
I
discussion is in the in the wrong place. We should be talking about the best sauces on pizza.
oh that's a good that's not a bad topic. There's a lot of good choices there. But it is we've been doing this for almost 3.5 hours,
Yeah, we spent a lot of time with with the secret cards.
which is fine. But I'm going to call it here. If anybody wants to get in contact with me about anything that we said, feel free to reach out to me at therestrictedcollection@gmail.com. Otherwise, you can find me around as Hedberry Chad. Nick, thanks as always for joining.
Pleasure as always.
We'll be back soon, I imagine, with 2 more classes, depending on how we're feeling on whatever day we record next.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Back to the
Well,
circus.
yeah, welcome to the circus. Yeah, thanks y'all for listening.